Okay. Are we set up? Do we have everything we need? I think we got everything we need. Okay. This is where the silly happens. This is why we're gonna do something dumb. We're gonna do something dumb. I'm gonna go end up on this side of the screen, actually. Yes. Yes, I want you guys to, well, chat's just gonna have to cover that, huh? That's okay. That's okay. Vitality, intelligence, endurance. Nope. 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 Straight cheese, brother. Straight cheese. That's what we're gonna be looking for, because today, we beat La Demon Souls last night using a somewhat legitimate build. Using a pretty normal thing. We had the Adjudicator Shield +5, and that's the only thing we cheated to get, because we duplicated Colorless Demon Souls, which nobody would blame me for. Come on, come on. If you're blaming me for that, you don't understand. You don't understand the struggle. You don't know what's up. What is up, Kyle? You don't know. You don't know. So today, we're going to be doing all of that stuff. I'm just going to pick all the dumb options. Unfortunately, if you're hoping that this was going to be like, oh, you're going to show us cool, like, exploits and glitches and speedrunning stuff? No. No, get that out of here. No. No, I'm just playing the game kind of normally, but but abusing one exploit and a busted magic system. That's what we're going to be doing today. And it's going to be done with our beautiful character. Wandissimo. Our beautiful character Wandissimo. And let's get some stuff on this face, right? Where's he from? Where's Wandissimo from? Where is he from? Big fan of Wandissimo, thank you. Yes, where should Wandissimo be from? In Thafin, where should Wandissimo be from? Are we from the east, the south, the north, or the west? Where should we be from, my friends? Or should we randomize? Sorry, that is the most normal looking man on the planet. Whoa, that's perfect. Who does he look like? Who does he look like? Why? Oh, wow. You just had your first ads. You love bog standard Wandissimo? I'm kind of a big fan of bog standard Wandissimo as well. Oh, that's good, guys. Should we be bald? I think he's gotta be bald. Did we get that in one? One random and we get Wandissimo. Perfect. Perfect. Hair gets in the way of the magic. His silver coronet can't buff his beautiful brain if there's hair in the way. It's gotta touch the skull directly. His skull is already too thick. If there's hair in the way, the magic won't touch the brain. The beautiful brain. The beautiful brain. Yes. Unlimited Wandissimo. So it's interesting because the royalty starts, right, at soul level 1. And that's where they're like, yeah, but it starts at soul level 1, so it sucks. No. Just like in real life, generational wealth will carry you so far. Generational wealth will carry you so far, and I'll show you when we start with the yes, I would like to play the journey into the Nexus, because it will allow me to show off what I'm doing here. Wandissimo.
Brave soul who fears not death.
Oh, I fear death. And death should fear me.
I shall guide you. So that you may lull the old one back to slumber.
Why'd the game freeze? Why'd the game freeze? Is that better? Can you guys see it now? Yeah, okay, we're good. We're good. Why'd the game freeze? It can't handle the power of Wandissimo. Alright, let me show you the Demon Souls equivalent of like a tactical nuke. Are you ready for this? Wandissimo, are you ready to show them? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That is a weapon of mass destruction. And we will be committing destruction en masse with this weapon. So, I just want to talk about this start, right? So, get those lotuses out of here. You start with the Wizards set, which isn't that great light armor. You can already see, like, it's only 60 across the board, but it's still 60 across the board. What's nice is this silver coronet. Silver coronet, because we're a little royal baby. A crown wrought from silver, hence the name. This decorative piece is only given to the famous magicians of the distinguished Yormadar family, or Yormdar. Yormadar or Yormdar? Yormdar family. It is imbued with a unique spell that increases the bearer's maximum MP. Oh, so starting at soul level 1 with, you know, 12 intelligence? Pretty good, but we get 116 MP because we start with the silver coronet. Okay. Rapier, that's fine. Buckler, pretty good for doing quick little defensible actions. But what about what is this? Silver catalyst, also made of silver. A tool held in order to use magic, given only to magicians of the Yormdar lineage. Its unique properties increases the user's maximum MP. What? 2 maximum MP increasers? And then the pièce de résistance. The most busted reason that this class is, starting as this class, recovers MP a little at a time. You know where you get this in the game? You get this, I think, in World 2 of Latria, or sold by patches for 60,000 souls. No, this guy just starts with it. He just starts with it. Sorry, I'm listening to something that's going on out there. Give me a second. Okay. There's movement. And it makes me nervous. Okay. So let's actually show what this does, right? Because it's like, oh, you're 110 HP right out the gate. No stat investment, no upgrades, no nothing, 110. That's gonna one-shot almost every single enemy in the first couple of worlds. And it's magic damage. Nobody resists magic damage in this ding-dang video game. No one resists magic damage in this ding-dang video game. The only one is, like, the Fool's Idol. And are you telling me the Fool's Idol is anything more than, like, 4 hit points? And because we regenerate MP, I was gone for a bit because the mouse that has been haunting me got trapped in a trash can and I had to put it outside. What I missed? Nothing! I was just explaining why the royalty is busted. That's awesome that you caught a mouse in a trash can. And how kind of you to put it outside. Instead of squishing it with your fingers or something like that. Because royalty's busted. We also start with Half Moon Grass, which is an interesting choice because the royalty doesn't really have a lot of health to play around with. So, why would I do that? I don't know. Some people kill them like vermin. They kill vermin. Vermin supreme. They do that. They see them as vermin. I remember I was going with a bunch of friends in college, and we stayed at one of their houses in a different state. We were just going on like a big road trip, and they lived out of state, and they had their parents lived out of state, and we were staying at this kind of rural home with like an unfinished basement. You know the type. It has like a whole nother house underneath the house. That's so mean. Yeah, I have beef with the mouse, but it's so small and cute. They really are so small and cute. I cannot not, like, I look at them and I go, oh, I can't hurt them. I know they're vermin, and I know that they can be annoying, and I know that they breed like mad, and they can cause a lot of damage to like structure, and they can carry diseases, and yes, I understand they're vermin, but why are they so little, and why do they have such cute ears, and why do they have little black eyes and big whiskers? Like, why? Well, if they're supposed to be evil, why are they so cute? Why are they so cute? That's not fair. So, while we're in this somewhat rural home, there is, like a mouse. There's a mouse running around, and one of my friends gets up, follows to where it went, like shakes the thing that it was hiding in, and then as it darts out, he just grabs it. He just grabs it, just picks it up and has it in his hands, like hanging from the tail, and we're all like, put it outside. Put it outside. How did you do that? Interesting individual. I don't know how you have the reflexes for that. That's more impressive to me than Mr. like Miyagi catching a fly. You know what I mean? I feel like catching a fly is impressive, but it's not like plucking a mouse mid-sprint out of like off the ground like it was nothing. But basically you get the general gist of what the playthrough is going to be like as we run and do this. Oh, I didn't need to waste the MP. My Chihuahua is a mouse hunter, and my pit is a vole. What did voles? What? Do you have a large population of voles? V-O-L-E, voles? How do you have a lot? What? Vole. I'm really caught on that creature. What does a vole do that's different from a mole? And what does a vole do that's different from a shrew? How is a vole and a mole and a shrew any different from each other? At the end of the day, what separates these three? Vole, mole, shrew. Vole, mole, shrew. Vole, mole, shrew. Okay, we're gonna have to wait for our MP to get back. So I think this is gonna be, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna talk about the world. No. But I did wanna, Sunday the week before Christmas, huh? How exciting is it? Oh, why can you two-hand your wand? That doesn't do anything. I guess you can bonk someone over the head with it. Is everybody getting ready for Christmas? Is everybody excited for the holiday? Is everybody have their plans made and they're gonna go do fun things and open presents and have a great time? Or are we, what's the vibe? What's the Christmas vibe in chat tonight? Santa's coming tonight. Best viewer, stream boo. Best viewers on stream boo. Remove the space. Ooh. I'm periodically muting because I got milk. I just got a glass of milk and I've been supping on it. I've been supping on the chalice every now and then. Do we have any plain milk enjoyers? Usually when you state that you like plain milk, people lose their minds. They go, "That's evil. That's evil. If you drink plain milk, you're an evil person." So Aki's an evil person. Aki's an evil person. I think it's really funny that is that's one of the lines that's drawn in the sand. I like milk. Yeah, look at all these people who are evil peoples. It's very refreshing. That's an interesting way to describe it. I like it. I think it's creamy and it goes down good. But refreshing is a very interesting term to apply to it, in my opinion. I don't know. Maybe it is incredibly refreshing, and I just don't know what that word means in context of drink. Because when I was told a drink was refreshing, I was told that lemonade wasn't refreshing. It's basic like me, so I like it. Whoa! Millennial self-own in chat, everybody. Millennial self-own in chat. No, it's deprived of bells and whistles. It is simply milk. Well, but we do have to ask. What type of milk is your favorite? Are you a 2%er? Are you a 2%er or are you a vitamin D? Are you a vitamin D? Do you like whole? Whole milk? Just the whole milk? You know, I used to work at a place where a large portion of my coworkers were raw milkers. Raw milkers. They were like, no, pasteurization takes all the nutrients out. And I'm like, by nutrients you mean like cholera or parasites? Because I feel like those are the opposite of nutrients. But I thought it was so funny. I was like, do you know how the pasteurization process works? Do you know what the pasteurization process is? Because the way you talk about the pasteurization process is, it sounds like you think that they're putting demons in there. And I don't think that's how they pasteurize things. I'm not an expert, but I really doubt demons are involved in the process. I'm really focusing on Vanguard right now, so sorry if I, like, shut up for long periods of time, because I want him to die. We have more than enough damage to kill Vanguard Demon here. But we also have less health than he could one-shot us for free. Oh, nice. No one-shot. Close to, though. So we can take a hit at full health. That's not bad. That's not bad. I want him to come my way. Yeah, come over here, big boy. I have some form of synesthesia, though. Flavors have a definitive temperature then to the end, regardless of the actual temperature. And milk is one of the coolest flavors I have. Huh. That is interesting. How does that work? What does that mean? How does that work? I'm interested in that concept. Got a little greedy there, but we worked it out. Okay. How does what work? Synesthesia. Like why does the drink have a temperature not assigned to the temperature? What does that mean? How did you do that? How did you do that? How did you do that? I want to know how you did that. What does that mean? Gray Demon's Soul. Gray Demon's Soul. Look at what we got this early. Grants the holder a large number of souls when used. Alternatively, it can be made into the spells. Blah, 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 blah. Sorry, itching my head. That's why B just broke her neck. That's why B broke her neck. Oh, what is happening? It's so scary. How did we get here? Alright, so, because we managed to defeat Vanguard Demon, look who we get to see early. It's Dragon God. And you also get a bunch of stuff here. Right? Like, this is what's really interesting to me, is that you get a bunch of stuff that you do not have access to if you did not manage to defeat Vanguard Demon. Which isn't like game-breakingly good stuff. It's a lot of early full moon grass, though. It is a lot of early full moon grass. So, but it's also shards of hardstone, which can give you an early upgrade, and shards of sharpstone and stuff. I think that's really fascinating that you do get a leg up if you show technical mastery to defeat. Look at that, 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 look at that. Look at him gearing up. 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 It's so good. And can you guess what's gonna happen? Can you guess what's gonna happen? That's perfect. Literally no notes. Literally no notes. Yeah, we died. So that's how they get you to the Nexus if you manage to defeat the Vanguard Demon instead of dying to it. Which we managed to do this time because we start with a wand and unlimited magic. Withdrawn from its vessel. I'm gonna say that every single time. The world might be mended.
Soul of the lost withdrawn from its vessel. Let strength be granted so the world might be mended. So the world might be mended.
Yep, we're a little soul man now. Uh-oh, the soul man cometh. The soul man cometh.
This is the Nexus. It holds together the northern land of Boletaria. Thou canst not exit the Nexus, but each of the 5 archstones will connect it.
Another node of the Nexus. You cannot escape the Nexus, not even if you try really, really, really freaking hard. Yep, there's our Nexial binding. Thus begins the tomfoolery. Are y'all ready for some tomfoolery? Are y'all ready for some tomfoolery? Alright, so the full moon grass is a really good get. Full moon grass is a really good get.
It's in trade with yours.
I didn't do anything on purpose. Synesthesia is what happens when one sensory input triggers multiple sensory inputs. So stuff like seeing numbers or letters with intrinsic colors is a common one. For me, flavor input also does temperature input. I wasn't saying you were doing anything on purpose. I was just wondering how and why that happened. So that I'm just interested. Thank you for explaining it.
It's in trade with yours.
I wasn't accusing.
What's the hurry? Where are you off to? Have you any manners?
Alright. Okay, so... Didn't do the thing right.
Alex, you're luck. What's the hurry? Where are you off to? Have you any manners?
Have you any manners? Alright.
I would be happy. Rest assured.
Ah, I did it wrong. I did it wrong. You guys are gonna have to wait for me to figure out how to do it, but we're gonna do this a bunch of times.
Alex, you're luck.
Have you any manners?
What's the hurry? Have you any manners?
Alright.
What was that?
What was that about?
Best of luck to you.
Alright. So, let's go see what we got. Let's go see what we got. 1024. 1024 of it. 1024 of it. But only 5 on our person. Isn't that great? Isn't that great? But the thing is that once we take... Hi, Seeker. How are you?
You have a heart.
This is Wandissimo. Wandissimo is gonna do some stuff. I'm duplicating grasses. I'm duplicating grasses. So that's what we're doing. That's dumb. That's what we're doing. That's dumb.
I'll excuse you.
I'll excuse the rudeness.
What's the hurry? Have you any?
Hello again. I'm keeping...
It's so crazy how easy this dumb, like,
You have a
how
heart of gold.
stupid this this is. And we get two in there. But how many do we have with the
Hello again.
man?
I'm keeping...
How many do we have with the man? We have 1,020. Now 99.
You have a...
But, and we can use that. It's not a lot of souls. It's not a lot of souls, but it's enough for what we need to do right out the gate. It's enough for what we need to do right out the gate. Anyways, this is just me doing all the stuff that makes the game busted and broken. Showing that the way that we beat Demon Souls is indeed the intended way to beat it. But it's not the only way. It's not the only way. What have you been up to, Seeker? What are you up to? Am I saying your name right? I know you have the 9 there. But I don't know if the 9 is doing something to the pronunciation. I don't know. I don't know. And if I'm pronouncing it wrong, I would like you to correct me right now. The 9 is supposed to be a mirrored E, so yeah, it's Seeker. Good! Yeah! I win. I win. I see what it's supposed to do now, and I understand it. Popping like 80 more of these sounds really boring, so I'm gonna get to a certain point and probably like the Seek Niner. Yeah, I mean that. Yeah. What streams do you typically watch? I'm interested. I was thinking about this earlier. I was like, how many of the people who watch me regularly watch, like, do they watch mostly, like, the content that I am playing right now? I had a couple people who came in. When I first started streaming, I did Halo. The Halo games were some of my favorites to play through. But, after I stopped playing Halo, there was a couple people who stopped coming in to watch. And that's fine. They were there for the Halo content. But then I had some people who came in to watch me play Majora's Mask. And they've stuck around. They've stuck around. But you followed because I was playing Demon Souls. But what do you usually watch outside of, like, Souls content? And what type of streamers do you typically watch? I'm just trying to get, like, the vibes of the chat. Because I'm pretty sure there's a healthy amount of my chat that straight up just do not watch, like, other VTubers. They just don't know, like, VTubers or VTuber culture. I rarely watch any streams, to be honest. I just randomly thought about Demon Souls and wanted to see if anyone was streaming it, and that makes me lucky. Because your numbers are already appreciated. No. That is interesting. You just got a hankering for Demon Souls, huh? What spurred it? Did you see something that reminded you of Demon Souls? Did you see something that made you go... Or was it just like, man, it is a Demon Souls kind of day? That's interesting. Yeah, I typically don't watch streams when they're live, because either I'm at work or I'm streaming myself. But I have a good handful of streamers I watch, but none of them are VTubers. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. The streamers I do watch aren't... they're not VTubers either. Uh-oh. There's only a few. So a lot of new discoveries have recently been made regarding... So it's been... Oh, interesting. What new discoveries? Who made new discoveries? Is there a way that I could do this without having to eat, like, each soul individually? Could I do this quicker? No, that's fascinating. I love when people are still cracking parts of games. I love when people are still looking into, you know, games that have been around for decades and discovering new things. It's like that, how many of y'all are Summoning Salt? How many of y'all, like, is it Summoning Salt? Who does the, like, history of speedruns? set to, like, home and stuff like that. Those kind of atmospheric tunes. Very good little... What are we eating all these souls for? It's not like we can level up yet. Just to make you guys nervous. Just to make you guys nervous. Because I'm gonna run into Boletaria and kill Phalanx with all these souls in my back pocket. Just to show that I can. And I felt like that was a really good display of hubris. So... Don't worry about it. I thought it would be funny. Because I've noticed that whenever I play Souls games, I typically have like a healthy amount of... Dark Souls 2 Hexers would be proud. Yeah, because they need to spend 1,000,000 souls per Hex. I've noticed that whenever I play Souls games or anything like that, I tend to have a lot of souls in my back pocket. I'll go, oh, I just got 60,000 from this guy. Let me go over here and get like another from this guy. It's mostly been a YouTuber named Splee. The guy just recently discovered that the amazingly named Poop Walk glitch from Dark Souls 1 is actually carried over from Demon Souls. Oh! That's fascinating. Yeah, because Poop Walk was seen as like a Dark Souls 1 exclusive glitch, wasn't it? Like it wasn't in 2 or 3. And you can do some wacky things with Poop Walk because it's having all of your animation speed, right? So you can get stuck in fog walls and really glitch things out like that. That's interesting. I wonder what that interacts with in... No, that's like a whole layer of the game being cracked open. That's fascinating. And somebody just found that? Splee just found that. Interesting. It is exciting stuff. I am getting really excited about it. That's fascinating to me. Okay, I think we're going to keep 24 in the back pocket. We'll keep 24 in the back pocket. How about 100,000 souls for Boletaria? 100,000 souls for Boletaria. Satsuki. Skip dragon. Yeah, that's a speedrun strat. You don't want to see the dragon because the cutscene takes too long. Speedrun strat. Ow! Bad boy. Okay, let me put... Oh, wait! We don't need it. We have 99 full moon grass. I forgot I did that. Break your thing. Break your barricades. Break your barricades. Break your barricades. You skip the dragon because he's so scary and makes speedrunners. Yeah, that's what happens. Speedrunners just like pee their pants and can't finish the game. It's really sad. It's really sad. So you gotta skip it if you're speedrunning because some type of mental hold takes over you and just makes you like, you gotta quit when you see the dragon. The dragon is an anti-speedrun strat. A little bit of a frame rate drop there. Yes, come here. Come out of hiding. Accept Soul Beam. I love that Soul Arrow has only been changed in Elden Ring. Ow! He hitted me. Sorry. I was scratching my nose. I'm still a little itchy. So, you remember that coworker I was talking about last night who had injured his back and left early and was like, yeah, I'll keep a watch on it. But, if it's bad, I'm gonna have to, like... So, he comes in today, talks to the boss man. And yep, he's gonna be gone for a while. He's getting a leave of absence. Gonna fill up the paperwork and leave. And I said it. I said to my coworker. I was talking to a different coworker. I was like, "Look, I'm really upset he got injured. Not because like I'm really upset he got injured because I hope it's not permanent, and I hope he's okay, and I'm hoping he's having a great rest, and I hope that he takes it easy and just goes home." And doesn't do anything, and just sleeps it off. But why couldn't it have been me? Why couldn't it have been me? I have to go work tomorrow. Yeah, well, it's usually my weekend tomorrow, so I'm still kind of like mentally preparing for the weekend, and it's like, no, I don't get a weekend I don't get a weekend this time. There's no weekend this time. I don't have a weekend. I have more week. By the way, far more importantly, we spoke about Soul's waifus yesterday. I can't believe you forgot about Melina. I thought the same exact thing. When I was rewatching my VOD, I was like, I cannot believe I didn't bring up Melina. How did I forget Melina? So where do you rank her? Where are you gonna rank her? Mutual brain fart. Yeah, exactly. Like, how could you forget about Melina? She lives with the horse inside my ring. Melina has got to be top 1. She's high up there, but I think she kind of hits the same place as Maiden in Black with me. Where it's like, I don't know if I want to kiss her. I don't know if I feel like kissing her. But she is one of the best. I think she's probably the best Firekeeper character. By far. You know what I mean? Because she actually is there. I wish there was a way to save her without her trying to kill you. But it puts you in the same... It's good. It's good with the same... What am I trying to say here? You gotta give me a second. It's the same path the Vike went down. And it also had... Lame. Lame. That means I gotta hold my thought. You guys are all probably in an ad right now. None of y'all are subbers. That's okay. Don't take that as a call to action. Do not take... I'm so glad you guys are getting ads now, so you don't have to listen to me spiral. The rapier is actually pretty good. Easy game. Freaking easy game. You press the magic button and things die. Easy game. Easy video game for babies. I don't know why everybody didn't just pick the royalty class. Unfortunately, we don't have enough magic to carry us through the entire... Alright, we're back. I was talking about how Melina is the same story as Vike. Vike's maiden. What he did to try to save her and why he ended up giving himself over to the Flame of Frenzy and losing his mind and losing his chance at lordship was so that he could save his maiden, who is heavily... Like, I'm pretty sure his maiden... I'm trying to remember whose maiden was killed by who. I know that the player character's maiden is heavily theorized to have been murdered by Vare. That Vare is the one who has rendered the player maidenless. But I don't know if Vike's maiden was murdered by Vare, or if Vike's maiden was murdered by Vike after he went mad in order to save her from being burnt as fuel for the tree of for the Erd tree. I don't know. I think that's something that I would have to look into a little bit more. But it's kind of a hard knock life to be a maiden in Elden Ring, huh? I'm drawing a blank. I'm way out of loop when it comes to Elden Ring lore. So Vike is the guy with the really... Did you play a lot of Elden Ring? Vike is the guy with the big spear that causes madness, who everybody was like, oh, he's the one who's supposed to become the Lord. You might know him as the guy from the box art. You know the art of the guy with the sword in the ground? Not a whole lot. It's amazing, but I prefer Demon Souls. That is so fair. And real. That is both fair and real. I really like that answer, actually. But if you remember kind of like the first loading screen, it shows the guy in the center with the sword while all the dead bodies are around him. That's Vike. Vike is the guy who was supposed to become Lord before you come in, because he was the only other one to kill 2 shard bearers. He got a bunch of shards. And eventually he learns the truth of what is supposed to happen. Ow. Ow, 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 ow. He learns the truth of what is supposed to happen, which is that, you know, the maiden will be burnt as kindling for the tree. And he doesn't like this option. So he gets seduced into giving himself over to the Flame of Frenzy so that he can burn the tree himself. But, of course, he also goes insane, because that's what the Flame of Frenzy does. And his maiden is dead, and it's not clear on who killed the maiden. If it was Vike, or if it was Vare. At least it's not clear to me. It might be more explicit in the actual game who murdered the maiden, or it's left intentionally vague so that people like me can overthink it. But yeah, so it makes sense why Melina leaves you if you choose to embrace the frenzied flame to burn the tree yourself. I just wish, and I don't know how they would have done this, I just wish that if you get rid of the frenzied flame using the unalloyed needle, that she would come back. But she doesn't, and that's the thing about permanent decisions based around your like permanent consequences based around your decisions. More games should do it. Doesn't mean I have to be okay with it. No, speaking of like Elden Ring waifus, what do you think of Millicent? I think Millicent is a top tier Elden Ring waifu for me. Millicent is a top tier Elden Ring waifu for me. I'm sad she dies. I really am. I really wish that it was like in the original. I don't know if it was like the original quest line, or if there was a way to save her through Melania, because Millicent is definitely up there. She does have some banger quotes, and she has a cool prosthetic arm, and she has a cool sword, and she's also heavily implied to be the sane half of Melania. And I really wish that Melania was a bigger character than she was. I think it's tragic she is straight up not mentioned in the, that I am to flower into something other than myself. I would rather rot into nothingness as I am. Yes. 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 Valkyrie. She really does live up to the Valkyrie. Yeah, that she wants to die as herself. There's nothing more noble. Nothing more noble.
My thanks for your brave rescue. I am Ostrava of Boletaria. Accept this as a token of my gratitude.
I love the brass telescope. Yeah, I really like her, and I think that Melania being cut to being just a boss makes sense, but also is sad, because she was used in so much of the, like, the she is definitely the emblem of the game. Right? Not the little doofus that you play as. It's Melania. Everybody knows Melania. She can be in Smash Bros. But no. No, she died. I think it is really sad that she only gets mentioned once in the DLC. Only once. Does this class have the stats to use the scimitar? Yes, it does. Stop hurting Ostrava.
Now I must go.
Definitely missed potential. Yeah, they cut a lot of quests from Elden Ring that could have been really good. Like not Vare. What's his name? Kale? The merchant? Kale's entire questline is practically completed. Kale's entire questline is practically completed, and it's good. It's good, and they cut it for whatever reason. I don't understand why they cut it. They could have had Kale. And they don't. Sage freaky. Ugh. Kale's questline would have also been really good for the Frenzied Flame, because the Frenzied Flame is like, a lot of people don't know what it's going on about. It's not a good ending. It is an ending. Like, I'm not saying it's not a good ending. It's a good ending, but it's not like a good morally ending. You know what I mean? Am I making sense there? It's not a good aligned ending. But some people act like that is the best thing to happen to the Lands Between, and it's like, no. No, it's not. It kind of reminds me of, when King Allant is like, everybody wants to die. Everybody wants to have their souls eaten by the Old One. You're the crazy one for fighting the inevitable. And it's like, no? No, I think you're the only one that is, like, depressed and suicidal. And instead of dealing with that, you're making it everyone else's problem. I think you're the problem here, bro. Don't act like I'm the one that's walking in on something I don't understand. So that's what the Flame of Frenzy kind of reminds me of, where it's like, life is suffering and everybody actually secretly wants it to end, and there should never be life again. Isn't that Neon Genesis Evangelion, or am I misreading that? Okay, so it's definitely emo in a good way. Yeah. Life is pain. I hate. We have to have our daily Germa reference. We have to have our daily Germa reference in chat. This chat is incomplete without Germa in it. Bye. Still a pretty good sword, but we don't have the stats to really make it, like, pop. But that's okay. That's okay. Do you know if the soft cap is the same as in Dark Souls 1, 40? Is the soft cap still 40? I'm wondering. Though, so, I do have a story about what happened at work today. And I wanted to talk about it because it kind of just like my... Yeah, I got a lot of think-sos and I believe so. So I'll take it as gospel. I'll take your hedging and I'll treat it as absolute proof. So it's almost Christmas. And I work a soul-crushing retail job. It's fine. It's whatever. But that means we've been a little bit busy. We've been a little bit busy, my friends. We've been a little bit busy, my friends. And we have to have all those locked up cases, right? Because people stealing is, I don't know, bad for the company or something like that. I don't really get it because, like, I don't know. Yeah. But it just makes my job harder to get all those locked up cases open for people who just want to go home. But I had one of my managers pulled me aside one day and was like, "Hey, since everybody's either out sick or like gravely injured, you're gonna be in charge of like half the store. So whenever you have someone who needs into a lockup case, just use your better judgment and figure out like which people need the handheld to the register and which people can be sent on their way with their shiny new toy." Right? And he was just like, "Yeah, just use your judgment. Just use your judgment for which ones you think need what." So, I was doing that today. I was helping a customer open up. Are you getting paid to stereotype? No, it was so funny. He explicitly looked at me and said, "I'm not asking you to like profile." And I was like, "It did not cross my mind until you said it." I was like, it did not cross my mind until you said it. He's like, do not do that. But do, like, you know, use your discretion, use your judgment. I was like, okay. And most of the time I just judge based off of how much money I am handing over to them. If it's like under 20 bucks, it's really not that big of a deal. Okay, I was just checking to see if the red dragon moved over. I was like, okay. And most of the time, I have enough time to walk with them up to the register. I wish I didn't have to. I think it's dumb. And trust me, there are so many customers who tell me they think it's dumb too. And I'm like, look, bud, if it were up to me, I would not be doing this. But I am not in charge. I am not in charge. I am a cog. I am a peon. I am an automaton of commerce. I make no decisions here. So, today was one of those days where I used my better judgment. And I told, there was this guy who was getting a camera. And it was not a bit, like, I'm not talking about, like, what is a good camera brand? A Canon? It was not a Canon. It was not, like, $500. It was not $300. It was a $20 children's camera that burns the images onto receipt paper. Like, it is not, it's a good camera, but it is a beginner's camera, and it was clearly for a child. This was a father getting their child, who is interested in physical photography, a present for Christmas. Right? So, I opened up the case, I grabbed the camera, and I handed it to them. And I was going to go with them to the register before I got pulled by another worker there who was asking my help, because we have people who order online, and then these people will go around and take stuff that the person has ordered online and then put it in a big bucket, and the person who ordered online can come and pick it up. You know what I mean? I don't know what they call themselves over there, but that's what they do. So I have the keys to the lockup case. She does not. I need to go help her open up the lockup case because she's kind of on a time crunch. This is where one of the moments I use my discretion. I don't want to walk from where I was at the back of the store to the front of the store to help this man get a present for his child, right? I feel like at the end of the day, he is not going to rob us. And if he did, my personal values system, I don't care. Look, if a father walks into a store to buy a $20 camera and realizes, or like comes up short and goes, actually, I'm just gonna walk out the front doors with this so that they can get their kid a camera for Christmas, I am not gonna, like, I'm not gonna say anything. I don't know how you guys feel about that. I don't know what that says to you guys, but to me that is a non-issue. A child's happiness is worth more than $20 to me. I don't know. And if it's really that big of a deal, they can take it out of my paycheck, I guess. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna like fight this man over a $20 camera. It's not my priority. So as I'm helping this other coworker and trying to open up the case for them so that they can get what they were getting was much more expensive, but because they're working for this like pickup grocery thing, I just hand it to them and they walk off. But while I'm opening up this case, I have this lady come up to me, and I know her. She is indeed a worker there, but she dresses in plains clothes and walks around the store because she's looking for shoplifters. Whenever you go into a big grocery store or a big, like, outlet store, you will... there is a healthy chance that one of the people walking around is just someone who's looking for shoplifters. And these people, they making me giggle. They're making me giggle because otherwise I would be like, I don't know, man. Like, they walk around acting like they're secret agents, you know, hiding behind aisles and doing, like, leans and, you know, tailing customers they think that are doing naughty things. And they're so obvious about it. They are so obvious about it. Yeah, 007 of the clothing store. Exactly. Exactly. They're so... It's so... And then they always go like, how did I lose eyes on them? Did you see them? Did you see them? How did I lose eyes on them? And it's like, maybe because you're doing a tuck and roll through the toy aisle? Did you ever just consider, like, following from a respectable distance? I don't know what you think you're doing. Like, what do you mean, how did you lose them? They knew you were following them. And I can see it too. I can see it too, because they'll ask me, be like, hey, keep on the lookout on this person. So I'll go over there and I'll look at them and make sure, like, I'll be like, okay, so what are the telltale signs of a shoplifter? Right? Do they already have a bag? Does the bag have stuff in it? Is the bag branded with our company's logo? Are they, like, picking things up and then, like, you know, they make the motion to put it back down, but there's nothing in their hand as they do it? At the end of the day, it's really not my... It's not my prerogative if you steal, like, a $2 lip balm. Okay, I'm not losing my job over that. I'm not gonna... I don't care. Like, I'm so... They already don't like me over there, is basically what I'm saying. Because I assist where I can. But I just cannot be moved to care the way they do. These guys treat it like life or death. That if this customer gets out of the store with a $15 bottle... Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. The store founder's gonna come down from heaven and beat us to death personally. And it's like, it's not that deep. I understand that the store hemorrhages quite a bit of cash on stolen items. I know that that's lost revenue. But also, it's not like I have other things to do. I'm trying to find the right way to word this, right? Because it's like, yes, if everybody who came into the store walked out with $2 worth of lip balm, that would add up fast. But also, think about, like, just how much money we're hemorrhaging based on the fact that everything that we're doing to save money is losing us customer trust, and also we're not hiring anyone. So people will go into different departments and be like, why is there no one here? And it's like, well, because the guys who, you know, look at charts all day decided that it would be better if we spent an ungodly amount of money of technology combating shoplifters and got that money by cutting out all that labor, all that unnecessary labor. You know what I mean? So basically, the point of the story, not to rant on, like, people who like, okay, I understand why it exists. I understand why the job is there. I get it. May not be the best comparison, but it's a strange dichotomy. Obviously, one has to discourage shoplifting, but at the same time, punishing a mother for shoplifting feels ethically wrong. Exactly. If we create the, like, the best way to combat shoplifting would be to fight the standards of living that makes shoplifting attractive. Right? Because most human beings are not wanton kleptomaniacs. They don't just have naturally sticky fingers. Usually, the desire to break law comes from a feeling that it is necessity. Aren't those companies that lock everything up losing more money because they were before? People don't want to wait for people. Yes! That's exactly what I'm saying. I've seen it happen in real time. And instead of, like, dealing with the, instead of going like, okay, the lockup cases are actually not a good idea, and also treating every customer to a panopticon of plainclothes cop wannabes is hurting our reputation. So maybe we should, I don't know, just trust the customer. They go, obviously, the way to fix the labor shortage issue where every single person doesn't have the keys to open every lockbox is to make every single lockbox digital. And then every single member of our team will be able to open the lockbox using a key on their phone. And it's like, great, another reason to run down my battery at work. That's awesome. Are you going to give us charging stations? No. No, you're not allowed to charge your phone at work. Couldn't have said it better. Punishing the behavior rather than treating the root cause is really a failure of approach. Well, the problem is that a lot of these guys, they legitimately believe the behavior cannot be fixed. They believe it is a path, it is a part of human nature. Some people are just criminals, and the only thing you can do is prepare for them. And it's like, no. No. That's not how that works. They're like, some people are bad, and some people are good. And the only thing you can do is to punish bad people and protect the good. And it's like, no. Everybody's a human being. And the ability to do bad or good is typically a choice made in the moment. And these choices are influenced by outside factors that cause you to make a bad or a good choice. And your example is perfect. A woman shoplifting diapers, which are like $40 or $50 a case, by the way. $40 or $50 a case where I live. A woman shoplifting diapers so that her child can poo-poo in peace is making a decision that I cannot condemn. However, I can condemn the person who decides that she should be punished instead of assisted. I don't know. But the reason why I was telling this story, the reason why I went on this long tangent, right? The reason why this was on my mind was because I let this guy have this camera. And I went back to help this my coworker with getting something out of the lockup case so that she could do her job. And one of these plainclothes, I think they're called, like, asset protection? One of these guys comes, this lady, I've known her for a long time. She always asks me to keep a watch on people and do stuff and stuff like that. Okay, fine. She comes in, while I'm helping my, coworker, while I'm surrounded by other customers who are waiting for me to help them. And she walks up to me and she goes, "Are you trying to get written up? Because that's how you get written up." And I was like, what do you mean? And she goes, "You handed that customer an item from a lockup case. You are never allowed to hand that customer an item from a lockup case. And if you do it again, you're going to get written up." And I'm like, okay, first of all, you're not my boss. You are not my boss. So you have really no, like, grounds to threaten me. Second of all, you have not talked to my boss, who gave me the specific directive that because it's a peak time of the year, I can give people stuff from the lockup case if I have the, if I make the value call to do so. And, like, third, why are you doing this in front of everyone? in front of my coworkers, in front of other customers who are waiting to buy things. Publicly, like, it's embarrassing to get chewed out by your boss. It's infuriating to get chewed out by a coworker who has no authority over you in front of other people. What possessed you to do that, right? So I'm gonna talk to my boss when he gets back from his weekend and be like, hey, you might want to rein this in. Because, yeah, no, it's crazy. I was like, am I going crazy? And my coworker was just standing there, like, silent, because I think she was flabbergasted, too. And all the, you know, like, when a customer, like, I don't know if you've ever been a customer in an awkward situation. And, like, something is, like, the guy who's in front of you, who's trying to help you, is doing, like, I don't know, they're mad, or they're stressed out, or they say something that's really off script, or another member of their team comes over and starts, like, berating them or something. I don't know if you've ever been in that situation, but it's the most awkward thing on the planet. Actually, no, what a better comparison would be is if you're at your friend's house. Were you ever at your friend's house and you're, like, playing video games in their room, and then their mom comes in and goes, "Did you take out the trash?" And then your friend's like, "Mom, I don't know, I got distracted," or like, I will do it later. And then they're like, "I have told you 1,000,000,000 times to take out the trash. And here you are." And then you're just sitting on the bed like, that's what it felt like. That's what it felt like. I was like,
So be it.
what?
After all, go for
What are you doing, ma'am? You have no... Like, it would have been one thing if she pulled me... Though, these ads are really bad. So that's... I was talking...
Let's trend.
I went off on a tangent. Did you hear any of that? Did you hear any of that? Did you hear any of that? I went off on a tangent. Oh, man. Yeah, we need more intelligence. We need to be smart. Oh my gosh. No, it was just like, it wasn't... I was mostly upset, and I'm realizing this. The Demon Souls level up system is it more like... Is it more like...
Out the main die.
Look at that blue bar. We're blue-blooded indeed. Blue-blooded indeed. No, I was talking about how, like, it felt like when you're a kid and you're at your friend's house and you and your friend are, like, watching TV or playing video games or something, and then suddenly their mom walks in and goes, "Did you take out the trash?" And your friend does that, like, thing where they're like, "Oh, I don't know. And then, you know, their mom starts, like, digging into them right in front of you, and you're just kind of sitting there because you don't know what to do or say. That's what it felt like. That's what it felt like to be in that situation. I don't know, man. It's not that big of a deal. At the end of the day... It's not that big of a deal. Have you any manners? This sort of situation. Yeah, no, it really does. It's like you're just kind of looking at the camera. Well, and it's like I told her, it was so weird because she comes up and she's like, you know. Oh, I didn't have the Nexus binding on my thing. That's my bad, my friends. I'm gonna make unlimited Old Spice is what I'm trying to do here. Where she, like, so she comes in immediately threatening me with a reprimand, right? And that immediately puts me on the defensive. Like, that's not a good start to a coworker interaction. Very bad start to coworker interaction, actually. And then she immediately starts telling me, like, company policy in front of customers and in front of coworkers like I don't know. And especially what got me about that especially is that she
Hello again.
doesn't know that I'm following a direct order from my... Oh, I did it wrong. Oh, wait, did I do it wrong? Yes. I'm following a direct order from my boss. My person. And I said that. I went, hey, this is what my boss told me. And they went, does not matter. I was like, actually, yeah, it does. It does. It really does.
Alex, you're lucky. What's the
So
hurry?
I kind of just stopped engaging and just let her tire her... I keep doing this wrong. I just stopped engaging and let her tire herself out on being mean. Huh. The buckler is in a weird place there, huh? Oh, it's the transparency of the menu. I was really confused for a second. It's the transparency. Oh, okay. I was like, why is the buckler down there? It's because it is down there normally. I was just looking at it wrong. No, 1.
Wait.
Alex, you're lucky.
Okay, this time it'll work.
What's the hurry? Have you any?
What was...
And I know why, like, gotta love with the no situational awareness. Well, also, like, you're gonna spend the entire day pretending you're a secret agent, and then you're just gonna blow your cover by berating someone that doesn't even answer to you? Like, hello? Again, they don't know what they're doing. Am I doing this wrong?
Hello, I'm keeping...
Yeah, I am. What's the faster dupe glitch? You said there's a faster dupe glitch? How dupe? How dupe? How faster dupe glitch? How faster?
Hello again. I'm keeping...
Oh, wait. I think I know what I'm doing wrong. Give me a second.
Alex, you're lucky.
I'm doing something really simple wrong.
What's the hurry? Have you any man?
Hello again. I'm keeping...
I'm excited to learn a faster dupe glitch.
You have a heart of gold.
That sounds really
Hello again. I'm
interesting.
keeping...
I think Inthafon would be interesting. Yeah, there we go. Easy game.
Wait.
Okay, so there's our spices in case we need to... Wandissimo. There's our spices in case we need to eat some and get our magic back. But I know, Nexial binding on hotbar, parry once, try to use the Nexial binding, press start and spam use. And does it dupe, what does it dupe? How does it dupe the item? Press start and spam use on the item that you want to dupe? On the item you want to dupe, it'll dupe the... Press use on the item you want to dupe. Like, the reason it got at me was because it embarrassed me. It embarrassed me in front of all those people. And I was like, I was appreciative that she talked to me directly. I was not appreciative that she didn't use the opportunity to talk with me, like, as if I wasn't doing something stupid. It's pretty much the exact same as the one you're currently... It just circumvents the merchants. Oh, so you still deposit the item... You just deposit the item... Well, how does the dupe glitch work? Why does it dupe? But the reason why I was like so offended is that she didn't take the opportunity to be a good coworker. She didn't take the opportunity to be a good coworker. And she felt like she needed to punish me rather than understand or talk with me or gently guide me to the correct choice in her eyes. I'm like, it was my boss who told me to do that. And she's like, I don't care. And it's okay. Then we've lost. Then all sense of authority has been lost. That was literally me going, if you have a problem with it, take up the person who makes way more money than me. We're not gonna make it. We're not gonna make it. Oh! We still got to point, but we didn't die. We don't have a ton of health. We didn't level up a ton of health. So, we're still gonna take... I mean, we're not invincible, right? And actually, I just have a ton of magic. I don't have, a lot of defense or a lot of damage. I just have... Can you lock onto him? Thank you. Wandissimo, lock onto the bad man. I didn't know those guys could eat grass. They could eat grass. Every time I think of the... Do not eat grass. Do not eat grass. But I feel like everybody should be allowed to eat one grass at a time every now and then. It's just a good time. Ooh, wooden catalyst. Isn't that one better? Wooden catalyst. We could also upgrade a weapon of our choosing quite a bit, but we're not going to. We're not going to. We're not going to. We're not going to. I think I'll go make some non-grass breakfast. Enjoy. Enjoy your breakfast. Okay, let's go save Strava. I need to sneeze again. Because I invoked it, it did not come. Because I said it, it did not come. No sneeze happened today. Yeah, this one does do more damage. So we need to... I'm trying to think of how far we're gonna go tonight, and whether Wandissimo will live on as kind of just like a fun character we return to. Ring of Gash Resistance. Ring of Gash Resistance.
Thank you. Thanks to...
Yay! Grez! Darkmoon Grass might be a good one to dupe to full. I mean, we won't need to. It's like overkill, but if we're playing overkill, we're playing overkill, right? Though, if we get like one New Moon Grass, we're set. We're set. We don't have to worry about anything ever again. Dogs are scary, even with silly stats. Holy bejesus, dude. Is there a stat that increases cast speed? Or is cast speed always static? I know that in other games, Dex increases cast speed. I don't know if that started in Demon Souls, but I guess I could check. Damage sustained from falling. Why does faith increase so much and magic doesn't? Soul power. Usually they, like, after this, they separate faith and intelligence, which is really funny. I made a mistake of aggroing every dog. Yeah. Okay. Hey, Strava, you want to help some dogs? Ha! Get down, Mr. President, huh? Sure, sure, it's whatever. It's whatever. Never mind, we didn't need a Strava. We could just kill all the dogs the normal good old-fashioned way. Ow! That was what I get for being greedy. So, I very briefly started... I started playing the Outer... What is it called? Outer Worlds? Is that what it's called? The Capitalism Hellscape game. In space! I think it's called Outer Worlds, right? With the Spacer's Choice Moonhead man. I played that recently.
Good day to you.
Mostly stolen. I want your plate armor, actually. We're not going to be able to fast roll in it for a really long time.
Thanks for that.
Thanks for that. But maybe some armor would be nice. Also, it looks good. The soldier set looks really good in this game. The breastplate with the gambeson here, and it just looks really good. It's good armor. I kind of wish this soldier set came back in other games. I'm pretty sure... Is this soldier set in the Dark Souls 3 Cinders mod? Because I'm pretty sure it is. It's good enough to carry. Like, it's a really good armor set that should have seen the light of day again. In something. This is one of my favorite... I think they call it, like, half plate in other fantasy settings. It's not half plate. I don't like it being described as that. Because, you know, it's many different kinds of armor. It's like a footman's armor set. They do a really good job calling it a soldier's armor set. Because, yeah, once you get to the late medieval period, you'd see a lot of professional soldiers who wear exactly this kind of armor. Especially with the helmet. You'd see a lot of professional soldiers who are wearing, like, this exact armor set. And I like that a lot. They did a really good job capturing that historical look, and I'm very sad it's only in this one. I'm very sad it's only in this one. It would have looked really good in Elden Ring, actually. You know what's one of my, my minor complaints about the Elden Ring armor system? The way that the armor... Not like... the way that the armor looks or anything like that. It's the fact that there's not a lot of generic armor in it. There's really not a lot of... Because Demon Souls is filled to the brim with generic armor. And so is Dark Souls, where certain characters wear certain armor sets, but they make it clear that this is the armor set of an order or a nation. It's not this guy's armor. You know what I mean? So, Demon Souls does the opposite, where the armor is very clearly tied to, like, a named character. And I just kind of wish that it had more generic armors that were less, like, this is the armor of Saint Geob, the killer of cliff racers. And more, this is the armor of this Order of Knights. I guess they do that with, like, the open world faction armors, but I don't know. They just don't hit the same way, you know what I mean? They just don't hit the same way, because they still have a specific guy's heraldry on them. They still have a specific guy's heraldry on them. So I'm like, yeah, I'm wearing, you know, Godric Knight armor. And it's not Knight armor. I know they have a set in the game called Knight armor. And that's all fine, well, and dandy. Yeah, like, Dark Souls 3 is literally named, Nameless Knight set. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, the Nameless Knight set. Cannot carry it, overburden you. Yeah, we're starting to get heavy. But it's not like we need that many things. Stone of Ephemeral Eyes. We just got unlimited, unlimited revives. Cannot carry you to overburden you. That's okay. We don't care about overburdening in this chat. Crazy that Old Spice doesn't heal full. Let's watch this cutscene. All right, let's go. Ow! We're doing so good, baby. We're doing so good, baby. I like this song a lot, actually. It's fun. I think it's really silly. Yeah, he does try to hit you with, You can try to hit him with your cool arrows up here. But I think we're not at a good angle to do so. Interesting that he jumps back there, but okay. Oh, late moon grass. That one's not as good as the full moon grass we've made a million billion of. I'm interested to try out that new dupe method. That sounds really fun. I love learning new things. And new ways to cheat is always hilarious. Yeah, let's get down there. Oh, we actually are hitting him! Huh. I was like, no way we're hitting him. Magic Duel! This is like Harry Potter, right? Screw that guy. I was not a Harry Potter child. I did not get super into it. Sorry. I didn't care much. Alright, Magic Duel. Very exciting gameplay happening in Boletaria. I do think it's really funny that you can kind of like ignore his entire boss fight mechanic by just shooting him in the back with arrows. That's kind of true of every single enemy in Demon Souls, actually. That's kind of true of every single enemy in Demon Souls. You can just ignore every single guy and go for this. I think he's taking like huge amounts of damage per soul arrow too. Yeah. 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 Hardest fight in the game. Frickin' difficult. I'm so glad you guys were here to watch that, because I don't think you would have believed me if I said that I defeated Tower Knight first try without you guys here to watch it happen. So, I'd like to thank, one of the boss fights of all time. He is in the game. He is indeed in the video game. Okay, let's try this. Okay, so I want to duplicate Tower Knight souls. So, Nexial Binding. Parry once. I don't feel like I did that. Try to use press start and spam use. Okay, so parry. Do I parry and use at the same time? Or do you... How do you do that? How do you do that? You say parry once. Nexial binding on hotbar. Parry once. Try to use the Nexial binding. Press start and spam use. Alright, so let me sit down. I'm learning. I am learning from the master today. I'm learning from the master today. I'm getting a little bit sleepy. I don't know how much time Wandissimo and us will have together. I'm thinking that Wandissimo will come back. I would like to beat the game with Wandissimo, but I don't know if how long we're going to play tonight, because I am getting a little bit tired. But I'm going to keep playing for a bit. I want to see how this... this dupe glitch works, first of all. I want to see how this dupe glitch works, first of all. When you parry, try to use the Nexial binding a second later. Then press start to open the menu. When you parry... I can't press start to open the menu after I parry. Am I, like, not doing... Am I... If it worked, you should see the Nexial binding prompt laid on top of the menu. Huh. How long do I have to wait? Then press start. Huh. At the top of the menu. At the top of the menu. At the top of the menu. Is it working? A second was a bit of an overstatement. I think you're doing it too slowly. Okay. Okay. If it worked, where does the Nexial binding prompt show up? Am I doing this wrong? Oh! That's it! That's it! Then press start. You want to try to get into the inventory. So press start after here to get out of both. And then talk to stockpile?
What was that about?
Like that?
Thank good. I was what?
No. But I did do the thing
Wait,
right.
where are you?
I'm going over here. Yeah, I had it. There it was. My bad. Like this, right? Nexial binding on top of... So, parry, Nexial, press, start, X, spam. I died. Oh, but it doesn't, I mean, it does, that's pretty silly. Wait. Okay. Well, the only thing we have to lose are our souls. Okay, like this. No, not on top of the menu, but on top of the inventory. Oh! Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, whoa, 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 oh, oh, whoa. Oh, whoa. Okay. Like this. Press start to get out of both, right? Alright, and now, then press start to exit both. Now talk to Stockpile Thomas, yes? I can't believe I'm learning this in real time. This is so fascinating. I want to know why this glitch works. What is happening underneath the hood? Where are the numbers?
Keeping a close watch.
Why are the numbers? Why are the numbers? Why are the numbers?
You have a heart of gold.
Oh my gosh! That's awesome! How much souls does Tower Knight even give? Oh! That's not bad.
Hello, I'm keeping.
How many souls did Tower Knight even give?
Wait, where are you going?
I'm going soul duping, brother! First, let's get rid of all the Grey Demon souls so that we can make this easier. That's amazing, Seeker. When was that discovered? When was that discovered? That is quicker than... it's a little bit more mechanically involved than the first dupe glitch. When you get used to the inputs, you can do it in like a second. Way quicker than using the merchant. Yeah, because you can just stand right in front of Stockpile Thomas. Yeah, it's more mechanically involved, but it is much faster. That's fascinating. No! Add again. I knew to... yes, Adjudicator's Soul does give 13,000. Yeah, it's just me in complete silence as I do this. Sorry, no. I should be doing something even if most of my chat is in ads. I should be doing something if most of my chat is in ads. Even... I can't believe... I just zonked out. I was totally zoned. I was pressing buttons. That's so funny. I'm sorry if anybody was like... does this guy talk? Alright, we're golden. I want you guys to know that when you got ads, I started just, like, zoning out. And I sat here doing this in complete silence for an uncomfortable amount of time. So if there was anybody who popped in to say hello, or was like, oh, I wonder what this person is doing, and they saw a completely silent, like, VTuber model doing this exact motion for, like, 30 seconds... That. It was that. That's so funny. My bad. My bad. Yeah, I know Adjudicator gives a lot, but I'm probably... I don't know. What should we tackle next with our ridiculously overpowered build? Yeah, you love to see it? Well, at least you did it during ads. Well, that's why I did it. That's why I zonked out. I was like, oh, my chat's gone. Time to turn off, I guess. Power down. That's an amazing dupe glitch. That's really freaking cool. Thank you for sharing that with me. I really like that. I don't know. I don't know if this is enough to get us to... There's a Strava. I don't know. What do you guys want to see next? What do you guys... Because I think we're going to try one more... We're going to try one more world. I don't know if we'll get all the way through it. But where would you guys want to go next? What do you want to see? Valley of Defilement? Tower of Latria? Just doing, Stonefang? Anything. Anything, I go. while I, you guys can deliberate while I press X over and over and over again. And then tomorrow, it's going to be Ocarina of Time. I do hope that even though it's not Demon Souls, you will be behooved to at least come watch a little bit Seeker, but you don't have to if you don't want to. I hope that Cobalt and Nikki pop in to watch it. I think I'll stream a little bit earlier. Might as well do it sequentially. I think that's, yeah, we can do Stonefang. Isn't Flame Lurker your favorite boss too? So it might be fun to hit him with a fireball. Yeah, and then we could get, well, no, we wouldn't have, well, there should be a guy with magic, right? There's a magic man? Magic man! So, you will at least get to fight your favorite boss. That might be fun. Yeah, I think Cobalt and Nikki would like to watch Ocarina of Time, I think, a little bit. I hope they do. I hope they do. I mean, Tower of Latria has more spells, but Stonefang gives Spider Armor, which is this game's version. Yeah, I love Armor Spider as, like, a soundtrack, but as a boss, he's kind of lacking. But we should kill Armor Spider in, like, seconds. If I remember correctly, Armor Spider is really weak to magic. Really weak to magic. Does Faith increase the damage of your sorceries, or do your sorceries scale independent of Faith? I feel like they scale independent of Faith, but Faith does say increases... Well, does it say increases miracle damage? Umbasa. I don't know. Okay, we only have 40 more of these. Oh, 300,000 souls exactly. Make a wish. Make a wish. Make a wish. Make a wish. This is very engaging gameplay content. Very engaging gameplay content. I love when the streamer presses one button for 9 hours in a row. Hey, have you guys seen that thing on Twitch? I don't know what it is, but I get a lot of recommended sorcery scales with magic. It scales with... Yeah, it does scale with magic. I was just wondering if they made it. I don't know if there's hexes in this game. I think there are evil soul arts, but I don't know if they scale like hexes. Have you guys seen those channels on Twitch that it's, I don't know if it's like some type of game where you make real money, or if you're looking for stuff. They call them like treasury islands, and they'll have like 70 of them on screen, and you're supposed to look for codes or something like that. I don't really get it. I don't really get it. I'm trying to explain it, but I don't think I'm explaining it right. Have you guys seen those on Twitch? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Does the Vanguard Demon Soul actually make a weapon? I should look that up. I just thought it was a weird phenomenon. No clue? Yeah, I don't know what they're doing either, but they always appear on my Twitch. Yeah, no one knows. So I got the weird gambling side of Twitch. Why do I have the weird gambling side of Twitch? What were your guys' ads? What were your guys' ads? Were they good? Were they like free-range chicken? Sports betting. Head and Shoulders. Okay, interesting. Usually, no, I just get random Danish ads. Okay. Interesting. What time is it over there? You said breakfast earlier. What time is it over there? I'm probably really popular. I could be really popular with the European audience. 9:19 in the morning. Okay, what time is it over here? 2 in the morning? So you're 7 hours ahead. Oh, you are like... Are you in the same time zone as, like, Sweden? Are you in the same time zone as Sweden?
Thou seekest then soul of the mind, key to life's ether. Soul of the lost, withdraw.
I think so. Okay, my... I have a lot of family who lives in Sweden, so 7 hours ahead is something that I always have to remember if I'm trying to, like, text them or call them. That's interesting. Okay.
Art thou done?
This is still fat rolling. But yeah, no, I think it's funny though. You're in the same time zone as them. I actually went there For the first time in my life, I visited the old country. I visited Sweden. And so I have like two halves of my family who live in two very different parts of that country. A large portion of them live in the south. I went during winter, and they all told me, no, you should come during the Swedish summer. You should come during the Swedish summer. It's so beautiful in the Swedish summer. So beautiful. And I'm like, no, I want to see a Swedish Christmas. I want to see what you guys do for Crimin. And when I got there, it was, I guess a pretty stereotypical northern, European winter. A northern European winter. It was quite dreary. It was rainy. It was gray. And my family that lives in the south of Sweden live, like a couple hours from Stockholm and like a couple bus trips from Gothenburg. And it was just very interesting to see how different it was in the south of Sweden, because when I went to my other family members, they live like a couple miles from the Norwegian border in the far north, where it's like all forest, villages, and that's pretty much it. But great internet. I was really impressed because my cousin just played like Black Desert Online. I was like, how do you guys have such good internet? I was getting great download speeds. It was a village of like 50 people, but some of the best internet I've ever had. It was awesome. It's a beautiful country. I think we stayed... I had a big layover in Copenhagen. And that airport is for evil people. I don't understand who designed the Copenhagen airport, but they're an enemy. They're an enemy of the faith. And I think they should be hunted. Copenhagen. Well, I don't know if you've done a lot of flying. I don't know if you've ever been in that airport, but I had to walk from one side to the other multiple times because they kept changing our gate. And it's built like a maze. And those airport attendants are not very helpful people. I don't know if you guys just got beef with Americans. I don't know, like, come on. It was last year. Having for a while, flying is way too scary. Totally understandable. Totally understandable. Totally understandable. Flying is terrifying. You know what I'm terrified of? Escalators. I cannot handle escalators. I cannot handle escalators. But I don't know if if you Danes have an issue with Americans or something like that, but God bless. They were not helpful. You don't like elevators? Okay, so we're covering every piece of transportation. Yeah, escalators are the product of Satan. Thank you. God bless. I spent way too much time on the internet to ever be okay with an escalator. I have seen way too many videos with a little thing in the corner. To ever be okay with an escalator. Dogs. Dogs. But I will always remember, so we went on, I think it was Norwegian Air? And, you know, my... Heckin' overslept. The olden, yes, you know the ones. I have seen way too many videos about escalators and industrial lathes to ever be anywhere near either of those things in any context. You came in a weird part, Cobalt. We're talking about my Danish airport adventures. I'm like, why are you guys mad at me? Trump isn't even president this time. He would be later, but he wasn't this time. I don't know why you're mad at me. But, it was interesting because I went onto the Norwegian airline, and you know, I try to be upbeat while traveling. I try to be like, go get 'em, let's go, we're gonna have a good time even in the airport, or I get really pissy, and then I'm no fun to be around because I get overwhelmed and I make it everyone else's problem. So I try to keep my mood high. And I'm getting pincered. I got onto the Norwegian. I don't think I have a specific beef with Americans. Danes are generally just bad people. It's so funny because that's how the Swedish talk about Danes too. I didn't want to because whenever I was talking to my Swedish family members and they would mention different I went to so many museums because I love history. Believe it or not, I have a history degree. So I begged to go to so many museums, and they were so glad to take me. And every single museum I went to, every single historic church I went to, had a moment in history where it was burned down by the Danes. Every single one. I have a Danish friend, she'd agree. Like, every single one I went to was like, yeah, the Danes burned this down at one point. And I was talking to my aunt, and I was like, hey, what's up with the beef with the Danes? And she just looked at me and she went, you should never trust a Dane. I was like, what? I didn't want to bring it up because I didn't want to touch any sore spots with like national rivalries, but I thought it was so funny. Oh my gosh. You missed the stream where I talked about, so my family, right, has land in Sweden. They're landowners. In all fairness, I think historically speaking, Denmark and Sweden have had more wars between them than any other two nations. So there's definitely beef. Yeah, no, I remember when I started playing Medieval 2 Total War. Oh, I always do that wrong. And you can play as Denmark in Medieval Total War, but you cannot play as Sweden. So I was like, oh yeah, I was showing my mom, who was born in Sweden, the game, and I was like, yeah, so it's, you know, it's a turn-based strategy game where you play as different European countries during the medieval period and you try to forge your own history. Stuff like that. It's great for us nerds. And my mom was like, can you play as the Swedes? I was like, no, they don't exist. They're kind of just like a rebel faction. And she's like, but you can play as the Danes. I'm like, yeah. It's just casual. It's so funny because it's not, I've never heard them talk about anyone else like that. It is just the Danes. I don't know what you guys did, but it is just the Danes. I don't know if Sweden has done bad things to Denmark. I know Sweden has done bad things to Norway. It was always really funny because I will always remember, I went to a Swedish college here in the United States. It was a college that was started by Swedish immigrants. And they had a professor from the university, a university in Stockholm, come over for a guest lecture. And he had come over pretty close to 4th of July. So the town was getting really ready for the 4th of July celebrations. And, he was observing because they don't do that kind of big birthday bash in Sweden. Like, they have a day to remember the nation. But someone had asked him, oh, do you guys have an Independence Day? And he went, no, we have a Swedish National Day. But most of the nations next to Sweden have an Independence Day from us. And I just really liked the way he worded that. Norway. Well, and also my morfar, he gets made fun of sometimes because they're like, oh, you know, He's half Norwegian. I don't know. It's funny to me because it's like you guys, like Europe, it is so interesting because whenever I want to talk about Europe. Am I allowed to talk about Europe? Can I talk about Europe? I want to talk about Europe. One of the things about going to Europe, talking to Europeans, being surrounded by people who have lived in Europe their entire lives, my cousins who were born in Sweden, people who went, I had a Russian friend in college that I adored talking to because it was just so fascinating. My mom has lived, she lived in pre-Soviet, or she lived in, not pre-Soviet, she's not that old. She lived in Soviet-era Ukraine and Russia. She was arrested in Soviet-era Russia. She, like, I have so many stories about Europe. I had a Romanian guy that I loved talking to about, like, what's going on in the Balkans, as his opinions as a Romanian man. And all the time, I get it. It's like, why are people in the United States racist? That is a question that I get a lot. And it's a question that I have no problem fielding. It's like, yes, it is a very real problem in American history. It is a very massive problem in American history. It is still a problem in the United States. Don't listen to anybody who says it's not that big of a deal. It is. It is still a problem, especially in the American South. It is something that has defined American culture and American history for hundreds of years. And then they go, well, in Europe, we don't have those problems. And then I'll be like, so what do you feel about Bulgarians? Or I'll be like, I remember right after Ukraine was invaded, I was talking to my friend, and she's really interesting because I think it's not her dad, or it might be her uncle. Her uncle was Soviet. He was a Soviet man. He was a member of the Communist Party. He owns land in Moscow. He is a Soviet man. So she was connected to that previous regime, not directly because she was born after its fall, but she has land in Moscow. That's because of the Communist Party. But she is a hardcore hater of Vladimir Putin. Cannot stand the man. Wanted to move to America as quickly as possible. And constantly talks about how much she hates that government, that regime. But when he came out, we don't have racism here. So how about the French? Yeah, well, no, in Sweden, it's the Romani. In Sweden, it's the gypsy population, the Romani people. Because, again, my mother, my dear old mother, has Romani. He has Romani blood. And she tells stories, man. She tells stories. I am like, oh my god, they talk to you like that? And she's like, yeah, but it's just the way it is. And I'm like, no, it's racist. You can't, what do you mean? You can't, what? No, so it's like, yeah, they do that. And they go, that doesn't count. And it's like, why doesn't it count? And it's like, because those aren't people. And it's like, oh, it's really funny. In a cosmic sort of way. It's a really funny thing in a cosmic. Europeans who try and act like racism isn't an issue here is, yeah, in my view, it's far worse than in America. I think it's different. I wouldn't say it's worse. I would say it's different. As someone, but I don't live with the effects of European racism typically. It's just like, and it also might vary by country to country, because I think in the Balkans, yeah, the Balkans exist in competitive racism. You know what I mean? Like, that is, I think only Japan and China can have the level of bad blood that a Serbian and a Croat will have. You know what I mean? Oh, iron knuckles. That's a weapon I've never gotten before. You know, I always think of that video where it's a Turkish man and an Albanian man are having a quote-unquote debate. And I don't remember which one started it, but it immediately started with mudslinging, where one is like, you know, I fuck your family. And the other guy goes, you fuck my family? Why you fuck my family? And he goes, because you're Albanian. And he goes, I fuck your family. He's like, why you fuck my family? He's like, because you're Turkish. It's like, that's, yeah. Yeah. Okay. It's just different. It is a different... It's like... Because in the United States, when racism is happening amongst those who live here, it is typically divided not by ethnicity, but by perceived race, right? That's why, quote-unquote, like, being light-skinned or passing is, I think, something that gets brought up more here, because then you look the part, quote-unquote. And it's better to look the part. People are still American, but they're hyphenated American. They're Hispanic American. They're African American. And that's why, like, Nazis would not get along with the Ku Klux Klan. Because the Ku Klux Klan are white supremacists, and Nazis are Aryans. And they'd see a Polish man in the Ku Klux Klan and kill him. Like, that's the difference between American and European racism, I think. If I had to distill it. Though, it is getting bad enough in the United States that they're considering Mediterraneans not real. Meanwhile, them beans on toast hot. Lovingly. Lovingly. I love the British. They're the reason why everything sucks today, but I love them. The British Empire had such good PR. The British Empire had such good PR. Can you imagine being the largest empire in the world with some of the most effective, like, ethnic cleansing practices, and then you don't even get talked about in the same breath as, like, other genocidal regimes? Man, they had great PR. They're the hippopotamus of empires. I don't know. Not to go into, like, a really heavy rant on, like, racism during a Demon Souls stream. Maybe a weird place to have it. Maybe a weird place to have it, but I think about it a lot. Not because, well, that's a weird way to phrase that. Let me walk that back. Let me walk that back. I just think it's fascinating that human beings have spent a ludicrous amount of time putting other human beings in, quite frankly, ridiculous boxes based on things as superfluous as what you look like. This is just Wandissimo's inner monologue. Yeah, as long as he's wearing the... Well, look. What else does somebody with 40 intelligence think about? This is just Wandissimo's inner monologue. Is really funny. Is really funny. No, I think it's really fascinating that we, all over the world, the tribal instinct is so strong that you can look at another human being and go, that's not a person. Just because they, I don't know, live on a different hill than you. Okay. I understand that there's beef. That's when you really get into, like, the blood feuds and stuff like that. And you're like, well, why don't they just get along? And then you look at the thousands of years of the amount of times that they've been doing horrible things to each other, and you're like, oh, that's why they don't get along. I don't know. It's fascinating from, like, an anthropology standpoint, but it's also an uncomfortable subject for a lot of people, because it's, lived experience for some. I do remember that some of my college, I didn't get to go, and I'm really, to be fair, is there a better place for racism discussion than a Demon Soul stream? Maybe a Morrowind stream, but yes, this is one of the best. This is one of the best. I don't know, it's funny when, like, because the culture shock, right? It's a culture shock. I was talking to my cousin because they were asking things about America. They've never been. They don't know. They only know what they see on TikTok. They only know what they see on TV. And a Morrowind stream only if you're playing a Dark Elf or a Nord. Or a Nord. I was thinking about Nords today because one of my favorite things about... Like, one of my favorite voice lines in Morrowind is when the Nords go, like, Have you seen any elves? I really like that line. I think it's so dumb. It's so stupid. I love that Morrowind is like, yeah, our fantasy world is different. Every single person here is ridiculously racist. I love that for them. That's a really funny codifier. No, it's like culture shock. I remember... So, I don't know why you guys don't do it. You guys don't have free refills. Why don't you guys have free... Is that a European Union thing? Is that a... You guys also don't have free bathrooms. No free bathrooms, no free refills. So, like... What's up with that? When I was out in... And you guys give the smallest cups known to man. They're tiny. They're like 4 ounces. And they're a full kronar to get another refill of it. Like, yeah, that's like a dime. But why am I paying a dime every single time when I need to refill my 4-ounce drink of water? Hello? So I played the part of the ignorant American and just refilled it anyways, and they were all too polite to tell me that, no, we don't do that here. And I thought that was really funny. I thought that was really funny. Because fundamentally, I'm opposed to that practice. Fundamentally, I'm opposed to that practice. I know that Sweden is different and weird. No free refills and tiny cups because healthy. No free bathrooms because they gotta keep the business running, from my understanding. Squeeze people another way. Squeeze people another way. In the United States of America, I get a 44-ounce drink, and I can refill that sucker no matter how. I can hey, Volkswagen ad. That's awesome. But it's not yours. They gotta take it. They gotta take my Volkswagen ad. It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. I can get ChatGPT to make it for me, and then I'll send it to them. They'll love it. They'll love it. They'll love it. I'll leave as many AI artifacts as I can. Oh, does this help us, actually? If you were getting ads, that means the European couldn't answer my questions, and that's sad. Ah! I don't know. I loved a lot of the things that Europe was doing. I really liked, because even in the middle of nowhere, my aunt got a bus 3 times a day. No refills, I understand, for anything but water, but no free bathroom I think is dumb. Sure, I'll buy something, but can't you do something before I make a mess on your floor? Yeah, and the thing is that, like, when things in the United States do, no, you can't use the bathroom for free, it's usually because they don't want the guy to shoot up drugs in there. I don't know what that's like in Europe. I may just be really immature, but the idea that Wandissimo is having this inner monologue on the geopolitics of racism as he's fat rolling through Boletaria is too funny. It's really, you know, sometimes the best philosophizing happens while you're trying to kill a really big spider in your house. I think Kierkegaard came up with most of his, best stuff while fighting a giant spider. I'm glad that you're getting a kick out of it, though. I always worry, because this is stuff that I think about. You know? Like, this is stuff that really matters to me. And a lot of the time, when I try to talk about this stuff with people, they go like, hey, there's a time and a place, bud. And I'm like, yeah, but when else are we gonna talk about it? That's usually like, no, I don't want to talk about it. And it's like, yeah, I guess that's fair. But, I don't know. It matters. It matters, darn it. Did you hear my question about tiny cups? Seeker? I wanna hear the opinion of a Dane on tiny cups. Don't do it! No! I don't want to trade. Don't do it! Oh. Come on, we can get him in one more. Yeah, well, I poised that? Huh. Interesting. I didn't know if I didn't know I could poise that. But Armor Spider give hot juice. Hot juice. Though I think we need Sage Freaky to turn souls into spells. We need Sage Freaky. Yeah, now we need to get freaky. I need to get freaky with it. But I don't know if I'm gonna get freaky right now. Sorry. It's just something I think about a lot because I find it fascinating, especially because a lot of people... I was thinking about it earlier today. Umbasa. Remember how to get to him? Yeah, I do. It's just that I think we're gonna go through all of World 2 and then call it good for Wandissimo for now. But, I mean...
If so, please free Sage Freak. I will help you however I... Sage Freak.
Sage Freak. Sage Freak. We can do Flame Toss. Slightly reduces damage taken. Let's do that. This might be helpful. Reduces fire damage. And then we could do Demon Prank. How about that? How about that?
Wait.
How about that? Okay. I don't even think we have enough souls to level up. We've gotten to that point where it doesn't, like, we just don't have enough souls to level up. I was thinking about it earlier because I was thinking about, like, ethnocentrism, which is just a really useful term, and I'm very glad to have learned of it. But basically, like, it's the idea that you judge... And a lot of people are probably already rolling their eyes because they're like, oh, this again? Yes, this again. Is where you judge another culture based off of the values of your own, right? And everybody does it. It is a totally normal thing. I was committing ethnocentrism just a couple seconds ago, where I was like, yeah, give me a 44-ounce drink and unlimited refills, you heathens. How can you give me a 4-ounce drink and say this is hospitality? But, like... You know. Oh, we didn't even... Who do we talk to, like, apply magic? We need to talk to someone to apply magic, I think. 4 ounces a shot. That's what I'm saying! Like, I went to an IKEA in Sweden. Very big IKEA. Beautiful IKEA. Biggest IKEA I've ever seen. Wonderful IKEA. The drinks were tiny! The drinks were tiny! And yeah, you had to pay to get the equivalent of like a dime in the United States. But I was against it on principle. I was against it on principle that I had to pay for refills on my tiny cup. My tiny cup. So, you know, I lied. Who gives us magic? Who gives us magic? And I took more than I was allowed, but, you know. Screw you. Give me my... Look at that. Look at how many magics we have.
I'm not done yet.
I am! So, that is ethnocentrism. But the problem is that, like, you can... pro tip, just wait until the staff aren't paying attention, then refill. Yeah, yeah. They were too polite to stop me, is the thing. And I was so American. I was so American when I was there. And it wasn't on purpose. I'm just obnoxious, right? There was one time where we were far north during a Christmas festival. I ran right into that. That's maybe... Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. We were far north during a Christmas festival. I don't know if you guys... Like, I love Christmas markets. I love that you guys do Christmas markets. It's so much fun. But... let's do some flame tossing. That's right. Fire is, sorcery in this one. No, that still hurt like the dickens, so that's not fire damage. When I was in this festival, this Christmas market / Christmas celebration, this Christmas festival, there was an elderly woman who was being helped up the stairs to this, like, town hall, center hall, where a lot of the festivities were being held. And she was being helped up the stairs on either side. I was at the door. So I went and opened the door for her. Which, I don't know if this is a European thing or if this is a Swedish thing. But no one opens the door. No one says, excuse me. No one, like, they will run you over with the cart if you're in the way. They walk briskly. And if they walk into your path and you almost bump into them, they look at you like you're stupid, that you didn't see them coming. They don't talk to each other. This is a Swedish thing. I know this is a Swedish thing. They don't talk to each other. They ignore the other person. Probably a Swedish thing. They can't be trusted. Amen. I know for sure this is a Swedish thing. They don't talk to each other. They do not talk to each other. So when I would talk to people, like, I didn't say much, but one time I sat down on this kind of like trolley in Stockholm. No, it was in Gothenburg. I sat down on a trolley in Gothenburg because we were going to the art museum there. And I was trying not to take up this woman's space. And I was like, oh, pardon me, you know, I don't want to bother you or be in your space or something like that. And she looked at me almost like amused because I had said something, right? Like there wasn't, the fact that I wasn't silent was amusing. And when I let this woman into the building, opening the door for her, she looked at me and she went, oh, tack så mycket. And I just looked at her, I gave her a thumbs up and went, no problem. And everybody was like, oh, that's an American. That's so, it was really funny to me that everybody was like, huh? I guess I was really far north, so having like an American tourist that far and that loud would have novelty to it. But I've heard many Europeans don't enjoy much the idea of someone saying hello to... Yes, they do not. In Russia, it gets you labeled as an idiot. I thought that was really funny. In Russia, if you smile and wave at people, they think you're stupid. And it's because if you're smiling and waving, you don't realize how hard life is yet. That's really funny to me. Because I remember I was in I was in Kansas. I had a job up there. And my coworker was driving me home in his truck. And he waved at every single person he saw as we were driving down. I was like, oh, do you know those people? And he goes, no. I was like, okay. Sure. Okay. But yeah, no, there's just some, again, it's all culture shock. And, like, you can judge other cultures by the virtues of your own. That's messed up. What's messed up? Saying hello to everyone you meet? Oh, oh, the mistletoe. That's so funny. That's messed up. Yeah, no, he was just saying hello. And it's also really funny, the way that Swedish people talk to each other. The way that Swedish people talk to each other. I was with my uncle, who does not speak a lot of English, but he can speak enough to kind of get where a conversation is going and to add to a conversation. If some random person waited on me out of nowhere and went out of his way to greet me, I think something was seriously off about him. It's just the way it is in Kansas. Be nervous in Kansas. It's just the way it is. You say hello to everyone you see. Whenever I'm at work, when I'm walking through the store, it's my job to greet people, right? It is my job to be like, can I help you with anything? But then after that, they'll be like, nope, just browsing. And I'm like, well, I hope you find what you're looking for. And they go, how was your day? How are you doing? And I'm like, I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. How about you? And they go, well, it couldn't be better. And that's like, I grew up in the North, but my husband is Southern. And it was also almost the same culture shock. Yep. No, they like, you just talk to people as if you know them, and then you never talk to them again. But I love, so we were on this really, really snowy road. You will talk to people at the grocery store and I'll be like, do you know them from school? No. In the US, a simple greeting is really just an acknowledgement. Like, hi, hey, yep, how's it going? It's going. I understand that. And then that's it. You move on. Kill bear. Oh, he's jiggling. He was jiggling with excitement. Oh, Lord. No, the Swedes are the exact same way. I'd be sitting at a bus stop and I'd be like, so, is the weather usually like this? And they would be like, what? You know? It's so funny. It's an instant trigger button, and you can poke it as much as you want. That's definitely one thing we share with Swedes. You just don't talk in public, and I'm loud. I am a loud person, and I am talking constantly. So I think that's why I was always instantly flagged as the American. And I'm also wearing, like, jeans and flannels, and everybody else, every man there is wearing, like, either tiny shorts or the tightest pants I've ever seen with, like, fashionable hoodies and scarves, and their beards are cut just so. And I'm like, you guys look great, but do you really have to dress like this to go to Max? Oh, I forgot they do that. Like, what? Why? The fashion in Europe is very intense. So I think I instantly outed myself as American just by how the fact that I only wore jeans. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I just dress like a homeless man. I appreciate it. It makes me feel less bad. We can be homeless together. No, so we were driving down this snowy road, and my uncle doesn't say much, but we were stopped by this car. This official car had a big, like, yellow light on it. And oh, is Patches here? Yeah, Patches is here. And it was like, hey, you know, clear the road. But it was in Swedish, and I do not speak a lot of Swedish. So I didn't really get the gist of what they were talking about. But then we start backing up and pulling off the road. And I go, hey, what's coming down the road that we need to move? And he does this, it's so Swedish. He does this thing where he goes, ah, house. I was like, what? And sure enough, as he's saying it, a house on a trailer is coming down the road. I got hit by that. But I love, my aunt would do that all the time. I'd say something, and then she'd lean back and look at me and just go, ah! And I'm like, yep, glad you agree. Every time. Oh, man. Yeah, they don't say a lot up there. They do not say a lot up there. And that's fine. It's frigid. It is so cold up there. I understand why we don't want to talk that much. But they have great internet. It's just interesting. And you judge the culture by the values of your own. The problem is that ethnocentrism can never make a moral value. IMO. There's houses on trailers in the Midwest. Yep. Yep. Trust me, there are a lot of people who just... Yep, the trailer. The lovely, lovely trailer crowd. That isn't, like, I'm not trying to make a offhand comment or a disparaging remark or anything like that. I just think it's interesting that it is a thing. It is a thing, especially in the place of the country where tornadoes, or even prefab homes that are in two halves, like the duplexes. The duplexes, 1,719 damage. I did not see how much damage I was dealing to those guys. Once had to stay with family because someone's house got stuck in our driveway once. Look at them wiggle. Look at them wiggle. So the problem with ethnocentrism, what the problem I wish I could. The problem that arises is that people make moral value judgment based off of ethnocentric knee-jerk reactions. You saw it with the recent man who got elected the mayor of New York City, which was a weirdly publicized election cycle, I know it's 8 million people living in that city, but in the state I'm living in, I don't need to care. I don't need to care. I don't understand why. I understand why it was televised all over the nation, but at the end of the day, it's not like it does. Like I don't get it, right? Like, I'm not gonna get into the politics of it because, you know, I'm already touching like dangerous subjects, and we're just trying to play Demon Souls, man. Like, what are you doing? Get off the high horse. But there was a tweet of him eating rice with his bare hands. And the reaction to it was very interesting. Because I was like, oh, that's fascinating. Where he's from and where his family is from, yes, that makes sense. Eating rice with the bare hands is part of the culture. It's just part of the culture. Okay, cool. We eat a lot of foods with our bare hands too. Doesn't make it any cleaner or dirtier. It's just they eat rice with their bare hands in that culture. Fine. Fantastic. But the amount of people who were trying to acclaim that it made him incapable of political office was very bizarre to me. And that's where it's like, there's your ethnocentrism problem. I'm eating cereal with my bare hands straight out of the box. Tons of people do! Tons of people do. It's not that weird to eat. Well, like, one of the best things about being a human being is that you got these meaty appendages attached to your lumps that can just, you can eat the best food in the world and then relive that food on your meaty lumps. And somehow people have taught you that that's wrong. That's why they're there. That's why they're there. To grip, to grapple. Excuse me. That's what they do! So if he wants to eat rice with his ding-dang bare hands, he's allowed to! No, it's just interesting, because that's where your body is a sentient bog that can that can telepathically say it wants pizza. It's like, as long as you're staying happy, healthy, and safe, you can do whatever you want. Like, as long as people are happy, healthy, and safe, you can do whatever you want. That's my philosophy. But that's where ethnocentrism starts to take damage, all while using less electricity that's needed to operate a light bulb. That's the thing that gets me about the human brain, is that it's like the most powerful computer in existence. And it really doesn't need that much to run. Feed it, drink it, live it, good. But I wanted to differentiate, like, ethnocentrism, value-based judgments, and, like, cultural relativism, because you hear it a lot. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the term cultural relativism, or if you run into it a lot, or you think about it a lot, but cultural relativism is a very interesting thing to me. Because, like, on the surface, yeah, it makes sense. You can't make values or moral-based judgments on another person's lived experiences because you're not part of that culture. You don't understand the context. It's not for you, quote-unquote. So when you deal with other cultures and other beliefs, you have to be careful about making value-based judgments on their lives, because it's not your place, quote-unquote. But at the same time, I'm not arguing for a universal morality system, because how do you enforce that? But I just think that there's sometimes you gotta call a culture out, right? Sometimes you gotta call a culture out. You gotta go, that's not okay. Because I remember, like, someone trying to use, I'm starting to agree with Seeker, a bald magic man just talking to himself while lost in caves seems funny. This is why they banished him from the magic school. This is why he got sent to the land of demons. They couldn't handle this. They couldn't handle this. He just wouldn't stop. He just wouldn't stop talking about this kind of stuff. I'm sorry. You guys are more of my personal journal than anything else. If it's too heavy, tell me and I'll move on. Tell me and I'll move on. I'm not here to make you uncomfortable. I'm not here to talk about things that maybe, like, nobody wants to talk about. It's just stuff that I've been thinking about today. So, if it's funny, that's great. I've been chuckling about this the entire time. I'm glad you think it's funny. I mean, it is kind of like the juxtaposition of a cartoon dinosaur talking about universal morality is maybe a little bit hilarious. I can see the humor. I can see the humor. But you gotta sometimes be able, because I remember someone using the argument of cultural relativism to say that you shouldn't judge the Nazis too harshly. And I was like, okay. I don't think we can actually, like, ideologically defend that. And we shouldn't. I think I see what you're doing, and I don't agree with it. You know what I mean? So I have issues with the way that kind of stuff is treated. Do I have solutions? No. No, I work retail, so I just like to think about it. And I also work for long periods by myself at times, so it's just like, I get to think about this kind of stuff a lot. And I like it. I like to think about that stuff. I don't know. I want to kill this. Oh, also I looked up, they're not bugbears. Sadly, they're not bugbears. They're bear bugs. They're bear bugs. My bad. I called them bugbears the first stream. Judge them so harshly. Ma'am, this is a Walmart. It's really what it feels like. I remember this might be like a little bit too political, but I'm not gonna state anything politically. I have a history degree. This is where this is coming from. But I remember people are aware of current events. Current events are indeed happening. People are aware of them. We can wake up, read the news, and we can look at it happen. This is current events. But I had a guy who was checking out back at the counter, and recently the penny has been obliterated. The penny has been destroyed. And one of the things that I really like to think about, one of the things that I like to, oh, that's the dragon longsword, rip. One of the things I like to think about a lot is money and the faces on the money. I have so many facts about Andrew Jackson, you cannot believe. I have so many facts about Andrew Jackson. But we were talking about the recent change. Ow, hey bud. I'm talking about something here. You gotta wait your turn. We were talking about the recent change to the penny, and we were talking about, like, faces on money. And he leaned a certain way. And, he goes, imagine what they would do if they put Trump's face on a coin. And I went, he has to die first. And he was like, what do you mean? I'm like, no, that's just the United States monetary policy. Ever since the beginning, we have avoided putting living politicians or figures on money because we specifically wanted to be disassociated with monarchies, because monarchies will put the monarch on the currency. We didn't want a King George. We didn't want to have a, you know, Elizabeth I on coin. It's not what we want to do. Our money stands by itself, and that's why everybody who is put on money in the United States is a dead statesman. So I was like, yeah, he has to die first. And then he goes, he's not a king. And I'm like, and that's why he can't be on the money. And he just kind of was like looking at the change I handed to him, clearly thinking about this, right? Clearly letting this sit for a second. And I was like, yeah, this is why we have civics classes, kids. This is why we take civics. Can't put him on the money until he dies. When he dies, what value do you think he'd have? We just got rid of pennies. Not to get silly, but this reminds me of Brutus also commissioning coins of his likeness after the eyes of match and how... Yeah! Yeah, first I've heard of that ruling, but it makes sense. Yeah, that's why all the guys who are on it are old dead dudes. Because they're the only ones who have been far enough removed from politics that we feel comfortable putting them on it. A lot of American politics, for a lot of American history, is politicians trying to appear as milquetoast and as normal as possible while still getting as many votes as possible. This is not true in recent years. Social media has done crazy things to American politics. But for a long time, it was like, I am not going to turn the United States government into a kingship. That is why you vote for me. That guy, he's going to turn the United States government into a kingship. You should not vote for him. Yeah, no, it's that exact kind of idea where it's like also not living because trying to distance themselves from the British monarchy. They don't want to like say we're kings, you know. That's like American history has spent so much time trying to be like, no. That the president's not a king. The president just has supreme military power. And also doing stuff like, no. The Philippines aren't a colony. Only empires have colonies. We're not establishing colonies. We're establishing democracy abroad. And it's like, okay. No. We don't genocide the Native Americans. We re-educate the Native Americans. Okay. Say whatever you want. Say whatever you want. I love this country, but God bless sometimes, guys. Like, call it what it is. If you want to be the American Empire, be the American Empire. Just don't put lipstick on a pig and tell me to kiss it. Oh, man. This is what I get. This is what you get for someone... I do think it's funny. I always think about it, because I spend a lot of my day talking to myself. Like a ridiculous amount of my day talking to myself. It's embarrassing. Because I talk out loud. Which is how I transitioned into this quite easily. Because I spend so much time talking to myself. It was not hard to start doing it here, too. But the problem with it is that I look insane. I look positively. A bloody past shouldn't be ignored, shouldn't be... Yeah, exactly. Because I think one of the best things about the United States of America is that it has lofty ideals. It has absolutely gorgeous ideals. If you read the new Colossus, or if you read the Declaration of Independence, it's got beautiful ideals. And the most important thing you can do as a patriot of any nation is make sure you live up to your ding-dang ideals. Right? That's how you be a patriot. You look at what the nation was, with the idea behind it, and you try to live up to it. You don't excuse every single thing that's ever done. That's nationalism, and it's not good. It's not good. That's my moral statement of the night. Nationalists are dumb. Patriotism is cool. Where am I? Like, literally, where am I? I'm so lost. How did I get here? Somebody save me. I'm so lost. I feel like I've been walking in circles for hours. And I'm talking about nationalism. We've reached a dangerous place. Which way? Which way? Which way? I don't know. I just think it's really funny to see the way that Americans are considered abroad. That was one of the most... Poor Wandissimo. Poor Wandissimo. I just think one of my favorite things is to consider how Americans are viewed abroad. That was one of my favorite things about traveling to other countries. Is learning, oh, so this is how people see us. Right? And getting, like, used to that. And getting in contact with that. Talking about that. And also, like... answering questions about the United States became one of my favorite things to do. Because, again, I gotta use that history degree for something. So, being able to go, like, actually, no, the way that works is this spiraled into this, and this, and this, and that, and this, and that, is fun. It is fun for me. I enjoy it. I just got back up here with patches. Wandissimo wants to kill Flame Lurker, please. I'm going the wrong way. That's why I can't kill Flame Lurker. I was going the wrong way the entire time. Flame Lurker's up here. And I just forgot. My bad. My bad. I talked too much about American history again. It's so funny because I have a friend at work who is a straight up Marxist. And I mean that word for realsies. It's not, Wandissimo speaks about himself in the third person. It's true, Wandissimo does speak about himself in the third person. Wandissimo is separate from himself. Wandissimo is a dualist presence. No, I have a friend who is a straight up Marxist, and I don't say that word the way that Americans usually mean it, because like Americans don't know what goes on with that. They don't know. They don't know. They have never read Das Kapital. They never will. They don't know what a communist is. They don't know what a socialist is. They don't know what a Marxist is. They don't know what a Soviet is. They don't know what a democratic socialist is. They don't know. They don't know. And for the most part, okay. But they are terrified of them. I think that's the most important thing, is that Americans are terrified of Marxists. And I find that very funny. But no, he's like an out-and-out Marxist. I'm not. I can't. Didn't Cart write that book while bumming at a friend's house? Like a true Marxist, yeah. Marx lived... What a life, man. I'm kind of jealous. I would love to live in the way that he did, off of, like, patronage and thinking. That would be so good. I want to be someone's smelly thinker couch friend. So bad. I want to be someone's smelly thinker couch friend so bad. But... Oh! Well, that problem solved itself. One of them didn't want to live anymore. That's sad. That's sad. And we talk a lot about stuff like that. I can't do Marxism because I can't do dialectical materialism. Sorry, I think materialism is so cynical. It's so cynical. That might be like a bold claim to make on a Souls stream. Did you hear this Demon Soul streamer? Why are they talking about dialectical materialism? Because it's on my mind, baby. And now it's in your mind too. But I just think it's so cynical. I don't know. It doesn't... I want to look at these lizards real quick. I can't justify it in my head. I'm too idealistic. I'm too idealistic. And I remember I was talking to him, and he was like, actually, I think that materialism could be used as a judge for all of human history. And I was like, I don't think so, but go on. Explain it to me. Because it's something we've argued back and forth for a while. And he goes, well, you know, since this world is our experiences, and you only have yourself, there is no other... And I was like, actually, that can be argued, due to the fact that we don't know if there's a dualist... And he just immediately is like, dualism is stupid. Cartesian dualism is stupid. And it's not true. And I was like, well, how are we supposed to engage in this with, like, with integrity if you're just gonna take this idea and tell me to my face that this thing you cannot disprove is stupid and we shouldn't consider it. Like, how are we going to honestly discuss this then? Then it's like, I was like, well, so the problem with materialism is that it implies a teleological endpoint to human history, right? The problem with materialism is that it implies a teleological endpoint to human history, and there is no such thing. For those who don't know what teleological is, it is the idea that human history is marching towards something. That all of history is more of a narrative rather than a jumble of events that happened because things were there. And Marxism, in my opinion, as someone who is not a professional thinker, as someone who works in a grocery store, Marxism suffers from teleological fallacy because it implies that there is only one best way for human civilization to exist. And that all of human civilization has been marching towards this best way. And that is the communist utopia. Right? The communist utopia is the natural endpoint of human evolution. And that's teleological. That is teleological fallacy. You cannot say that with certainty. That the Marxist revolution is the way that the human race should exist. And he's like, well, no, you have to read the literature. And I was like, the literature is what says it. The most logical endpoint is crab. Yep, everything moves towards crab. Everything moves towards crab. Crab is where we will all be. I think it's funny because the crab has gone extinct several times too. Like, several species of crab. Obviously, the crab isn't suited for everything. And it's just that the crab keeps re-evolving itself back into reality. The crab will always return. The crab will die. The crab will return. I think it's like sharks and crocodiles. They're just such a simple and effective design that they will always return. You know what I mean? I think about sharks sometimes. And how this... Oh. Dang it, I wasn't fast enough. I wasn't fast enough. I think about sharks sometimes. And how this, like, murder tube, this torpedo of flesh, has existed virtually unchanged for, what, millions of years? Around 450 million years or something ridiculous like that? And what will drive the shark extinct? What will... I think it's more so that sharks and crocodiles never left. Neither did dinosaurs, technically. Yep, I'm right here. Dinosaurs never left. I'm right here. No, but, like, what will drive the shark extinct? What will finally end its reign of terror? Chinese traditional medicine. That's what's going to end the shark. Chinese traditional medicine is going to cull one of nature's greatest predators that has ever existed. And I find that, sad. But also maybe a little funny. In a cosmic sort of way. Not in a ha-ha funny way. Ring of disease resistance. Does that get... that target's plague, right? Oh. Oh, wait, no! Go! Yes! No! I fumbled! I fumbled. Okay, wait. Okay, technical mastery. The choke! The choke. I thought I had survived. Okay, that means we get to do this again, though. That means we get to do this again. That means we get to do this again. I thought I had survived. I did not. I did not. I don't know. What's everybody's favorite animal? What's your favorite... Ooh, wait. What's your favorite extinct animal in chat? What's your favorite extinct animal in chat? I need a parry.
Hello again. I'm keeping...
Big fan of Meganura. Big frickin' dragonfly. Big frickin' dragonfly. That's a good one.
You have a heart of gold.
Now we can always be human. Do you guys want permanent black tendency?
Hello again.
Skibambaspis. 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 I'm looking it up real quick. Skibambaspis. Skibambaspis. Oh, its face is terrifying. In a lovingly way. Armored jawless fish. Skibambaspis. Skibambaspis. What is this? Senbian. Ordovician period. 458 to 443 million years ago. Skabambaspus. Skabambaspus. Why does its face look like that? That's a scary looking face. Velociraptor is yours! Aw, you're just saying that. You're just saying that. Living is probably fennec foxes? Hey. It's just because of how ridiculous it looks. It's kind of scary looking to me, lovingly. It's kind of scary looking to me, lovingly. Ma. I want to show... Oh, wow. That my voice died there. I think it's because I've been talking so much. I think it's because I've been talking so much. I want to show something that I find really fun on my model. Let me see if I can bring... Okay, I gotta find... Okay, am I moving around? Do you guys see this? Okay. Zooming in. What do you guys see? What do you guys see? Do you see that? Do you see that? Hi. How are you? Alright, now we're back to normal. No, actually, so, one of the things that I really wanted to do for Bea's design is that it was somewhat recently found that feathers don't preserve as well as bones. Yeah, that T-Rex was a big fluffy bird. T-Rex was a big fluffy bird, and so were velociraptors, actually, which is why, oh, I'm gonna keep showing off my model for this. So, it's, in the late Victorian era and the beginning of the Edwardian period, there was something called a cameo necklace, which people would put like a cameo relief or a silhouette of a person that they loved or admired, and then wear it as a necklace, usually as a mourning thing. So that's Bea's mom. That's Bea's mom. That's a velociraptor. That's Bea's mom. That's why chickens are the way they are. Yes, they are big dinosaurs. They're not big dinosaurs. They're just dinosaurs. So if you see, it's a velociraptor. It's supposed to be a velociraptor, and I adore it. I think it's great. All right, backing up. But that's why if you look at, okay, I'm trying to move her around without like. See, she's fluffy. She's fluffy. She's got a lot of fluff going on here. And then you have the fluffy tail. Also this. She's floating in space right now, but I thought this was brilliant. This was brilliant. This was a really good... I bet if Rook was here to watch me treat Bea like this, he'd be mortified. But, yeah. That's some secrets of how Bea works. That's some secrets of how Bea works. Let me get a little bit more where I was. Yes. There we are. Yeah, I like showing off this model a lot. And I think she's a little too close. Time to save up for a motion capture suit and do... Yeah, I know. I think it would be fun. That's actually what my, my dear old friend does. Is mostly that's where... he gets most of his commissions, is by doing fun things for VR chat. And I think that's really cool. But I would need a little bit more space. I can't be Fillion. I cannot be Fillion. I don't know how she remains so spry. Okay, so we got our Stone of Ephemeral Eyes. Let's go fall down a bunch more. How about it? Mima. Oh, interesting. Look at that. Fast roll. Why are we fast rolling? What did I drop to fast roll? Oh, the scimitar. Okay. Yeah, because we don't need it anymore. Fast roll. Sexy. And don't spend it all at once. I won't. Thank you, Seeker. Yes, thank you. I actually have a fun story. We talked about Walmart earlier. So, when I was a youngin', my mother worked for a company that worked closely with Walmart. Not for Walmart, but a company that worked closely with Walmart. And so she had, in passing, met, you know, Sam Walton Jr. and Rob Walton, who are the sons of Sam Walton, the founder of Walmart. And one time, I think it was Rob Walton, was in town for some reason, and just so happened to go to the same restaurant that we were in. I was young at this point, and we were at a restaurant whose name was like Goldie's, Toldies, Boldies, something like that. Moldies. Goldies, I think it was. And I had misread it as Oldies without the G. And I was really confused why there were no old people in Oldies. But then Rob Walton, son of the founder of Walmart, billionaire, walks in to Goldie's. I look up and I see this man. I stand up and I point at him and I'm like, they do let old people in here. And, like, my mom instantly recognized him as, you know, Rob Walton, billionaire and owner of the company that, you know, works closely with the one that she works for. And he comes over and he, like, looks at me and he goes, here's $1. Spend it at Walmart. I think about that story a lot. That first of all, I called a billionaire old. And second of all, he gave me $1 and told me to spend it at his place of business. That's what your bit reminded me of. I don't know if he'd remember me. Probably not. For me, getting $1 from Rob Walton was the most important day of my life. For him, it was Tuesday. Down here, right? This is where Flame Lurker is? I'm actually also an executive of a large chain, so this is just history repeating itself. Just my luck. I really attract those big money types. I really attract those big money types, huh? I went the wrong way, didn't I? Dee-da-dee-da-do-do. Let me go back. You have to go all the way to the bottom. You have to go all the way to the bottom. Apparently. You guys don't have to... Stop giving me money. What am I going to do with it? No, I was actually going to talk about the ads. It's interesting. Because I feel bad about them. I feel bad that you guys have to watch them. But at the same time, it's like supplemental income. But I agonize over it. Because I'm like... Is it really, like, worth... distracting my viewers for... They start you with 5 minutes... That was my last bits until next week. I'm holding you to that. No more bits, Cobalt. No more bits. I agonize over them because I think about them. And I'm like... Is it really worth making, like, the people... they start out at 5 minutes of ads per hour. And I'm like, that's... No, yeah, I guess, yeah, it's like, I don't know. I'm trying to, like, the value, you know? I'm thinking of it in terms of value, and value, and value. It's like... I'm not out of balance of 0 bits. I at least try to be financially responsible. I believe in you. I believe in you. I believe in you. And I really do appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. I'm just weird about money. I'm just weird about money. And maybe I shouldn't be talking about it so openly. Because it's like, you gotta keep the veneer, right? You gotta keep the veneer between the profession and the thing. But I just, like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe the fluster is part of the fun of it. Maybe the fluster is part of the fun of it. But I just don't want you guys to miss fun stuff. This boss is, maybe going to kick my butt. I should have done the sweat! Huh. I used the wrong spell. He didn't care. He doesn't know we're here, though. When does he aggro? Huh. Look at that face design, though. Is that like a swollen eye? Or... Oh, 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 no! I was looking at you! Ow. Go. Go, 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 go. Fast roll is really nice on him. Ba, 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 ba. I can hide behind this. Yeah. Let's see if he comes over here. He gets stuck on the geometry a lot. Look at that lock-on range. Hey, you're looking at my swollen eyes. Yeah, he's like, hey, don't look at that. I'm sensitive about it. Why does he get stuck in the geometry so much? Come on, big boy. Oh, he does not like the magic damage. I'm sorry if you were hoping for a fight. Yeah, Flame Lurker's AI is really something. Ow. I just stood there for that. That's my bad. What's he stuck on now? What's he stuck on? King? What are you stuck on? Okay, I'm kind of focusing. Focusing. I don't know if this guy actually does fire damage. It would make sense, but it would also be like, yeah, no, it's Demon Souls. He doesn't do fire damage. No, he has to do fire damage, right? I'm wondering if he's just chunking me because he also does a lot of physical damage. Yeah, I feel like we tanked that explosion way better. That was a hitbox jank. That was hitbox jank. He hit me head on and took like 9 of my health. Okay, okay. We're doing good. We're doing good. Let's go over here. Yep, big explosion. Through the legs? Real quick. I do like that when he gets mad, the explosions and the attacks come out faster. So interesting that I'm poising through with a wand. I'm poising through with a wand. That's fascinating to me. Alright. Red Hot Demon Soul. Red Hot Demon Souls to add to my list. My list of souls to add to my list forever. Okay, what do we got in here? This is cool, but it's very Lord of the Rings to me. This feels like the mines of Moria. And they call it a mine. A mine! Okay. Like, doesn't this... Okay, Dragon Age. Any Dragon Agers in chat? Dragon Age? Dwarves? Do we have any dwarves in chat? Dwarros? Okay. Let's go get punched by Dragon God. Straight into Dragon God. I love that he just punches you, right? Like, so you have a big giant dragon man. How does he attack you? He punches you in the face. You have a big giant dragon man named Dragon God. What does he do? He punches you in the face. That's just, like, exponentially funny. Minute adjustments. Uh-oh. That's right. You don't have to engage with the mechanic. Minute adjustments. Okay, wait a second. We can do this smarter. But we're not going to. Because I don't need to. I can do it stupid and still succeed. I can do it stupid and still succeed. Nope, you can't hurt me anymore. You can't hurt me anymore. Moongrass! Yeah, baby. This is gonna be good stuff. Magic just trivializes so much of this game. Like a bow does too. This game was not made with ranged, like, options. The ranged options are incredibly strong and a lot of enemies can't deal with them. Aw, bad time for an ad. Okay. Ads hate it when I watch a boss fight. Don't worry, I'll sit here and wait for you. Oh, be freaked the frick out. Imagine getting ads. This post was made by Still Barely in Turbo Gang. Yeah. Head and Shoulders again. I want to see a Danish ad. That sounds so much fun. Danish language is interesting to me. I remember being in the Copenhagen airport and reading the signs and going, you guys talk like that? You guys talk like that? There we go. Welcome back. I didn't say anything disparaging about the Danes. Alright. We just shot him in the arm. I was waiting for you guys to return. B looks like she uses... It's natural. It's natural. Oh. Stone of Ephemeral Eyes. We can die again and remain human. This is so not gonna be like white. This is not gonna be white tendency. This is so not gonna be white tendency. The tears are already rolling down my face. It's because I'm a mean person. I say terrible things to good people. I kind of hate that this works. Like, I kind of hate that this is possible. Nope. He can't... He has no object permanence. He's like a big baby. No object permanence. I'm playing peekaboo with supposedly one of the most powerful beings in existence. And I'm winning. Baby, I love that you're getting every boss in this game is lobotomized. Yes, they had not figured out the AI yet, that's for sure. I love how much mileage you're getting out of the baby. That is so funny to me, Cobalt. I'm gonna need to eat more. No, we're fine. Scary made a mistake. Well, that time he used fire. That time he did punch me in the face. Okay, I forgot about that last one. That last one might take a little bit of effort. They got me there. They got me there. Do you think if I sweat really hard, I won't take that much damage from him? I do like that this boss is like Bed of Chaos, where if you... I'm pretty sure the stuff stays destroyed between playthroughs. Or between attempts. Well, maybe I was wrong, actually. Maybe I was wrong, and we'll have to do it from the start again. Maybe I was wrong. That's okay, though. It doesn't, unfortunately. Yeah, I realized that when I saw the thing. I was like, oh! I gave them too much credit. That's okay, though. Okay. I'm gonna do the thing. I'm gonna do the souls thing. How far does this spell travel? Could we snipe it? Or does Soul Arrow travel that far? Shush, I am hiding from you. I am hiding from you. Alright. And we already saw this. Maybe you guys didn't. I don't know if you were in the middle of an ad. But you've seen it before. We killed this boss before. We killed this boss before. Very nice. Very nice. Scary. Scary. I respect the power of the Dragon God. Dragon God Z. I feel like Dragon Ball comes up a lot. I have not seen it. I have not seen it, but I bring it up a lot. Okay, I'm kind of just like focusing really hard on hitting these dumb broken pillars. So it's like... Okay. Let's try. Huh. Don't move too much, Slayer of Demons. Don't move too much, Slayer of Demons. Aim a little higher than that? That does complicate things. That does complicate things. Where are you looking, big boy? Bing bong. Bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong. Bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong. You lizard. You may prepare to die. Chunk of Clearstone! That's exciting for the quality build we will eventually hard pivot into. Alright. Dragon God. I really like his double mouths. I don't think it's like biologically sound, but it's cool. It's really cool, and sometimes being really freaking cool makes more sense than being anything else. Let's go kill this guy. I remember one time I did end up dying here because he breathes out, and that does a lot of damage for some reason. I don't get why, but it does. There we go. Demon was destroyed. That's World 2 completed. You've obtained the soul of an archdemon. The thick, colorless fog shall oppress you no more. It shall oppress me no more. My chains are free to go. Alright, let's get a level up and then call it for tonight, guys. Oh, my spine. My spine. Let's get a level up and we'll return to Wandissimo sometime. I had a lot of fun with Wandissimo. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming in to watch. I hope you all had a great time. I will be back tomorrow night and we'll be beginning Ocarina of Time. So I would love to see all who can make it. And those who can't, don't worry. You still have my blessing. Mwah! Thank you so much for watching. Have yourself a wonderful night. I'm signing off.